Hey now, hey now, hey now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Book Alert Live, where we bring you the latest and the greatest in comic books and comic book sales. I'm your main man, Mercenite. Joining me once again is Hero Reborn Comics. How you doing?
What's up, brother? How are you?
And Dino, my partner
What's up?
for Tuesday Flipside. How you
Yep,
doing,
yep,
man?
yep, yep. I'm bringing back Mondays. I think.
Nice.
Yeah, I think me and my boy Rick Dotson are going to come through and do Mondays. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. Probably a one show and done. But we'll see.
I'm sidetracked.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, stuff.
All right. So, how was everybody's week?
Good, good.
My
Anybody?
week, my week is I think I told you guys earlier. I got getting ready to have a new kitchen put in the house, and I'm also reconfiguring my comic room. It's a whole bunch of things going on. So
Okay, the kitchen. Now, what all are you trying to do to it?
trying. They're basically I'm having all the cabinets and everything ripped out,
Okay.
new cabinets, new granite tops. Then I'm doing this modern thing now, like there's not going to be a dining room table anymore, like that you actually buy at this furniture store.
Yeah.
They're building like this centerpiece island that's going to be also matching granite top with the cabinets that kind of match but different color slightly. And so there's like, I really I'm leaving it in the hands of the professionals. I'm not trying to be cute. So
Okay. So, what was the? Hey, Lord Tapman's Comics. Thank you, man. What's up? I see you. What's happening, man? Um. Okay. So, what's the time? How long did they? Okay. Because here's the thing. I want a new kitchen bad. You know what I
okay,
mean? So I'm
yeah.
wondering, okay, so what did they tell you? What was the time frame?
Well, it- the guy
To,
came over and he measures everything out. And these
okay.
guys, they do shit like really fast now. I remember years ago it was a whole, it was a little more complicated. Now the guy came in, he just measured some shit, and he just says, what are you thinking? So I gave an idea. He showed me rapid fire, like a whole bunch of samples. And right away it's like I have cabinets picked out. So he just said that's going to be made um according to the measurements. The granite, you just have to pick up the granite, and I'm like letting my girl really have a lot, most of the say so on that, because she's the one that spends the most time in the kitchen. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to be fair with that, and but they do everything. Everything is quick, and he just said they're shooting for the day. Matter of fact, the week I'm going to be at Comic-Con, which is kind of cool for me because I won't have to be here.
Holy crap.
And by the time Comic-Con is over, hopefully my kitchen is done. But they're talking about less than a week, like just a few days. So, like I said, these
Really?
guys are different now, man. Because I remember when I first bought the house, I had everything done. Like I had the floors ripped up, the walls, and I had what they call a mud job done to the floor, and I had
Yeah.
like these big slats of like, you know, um, I can't even describe the tiles, but they're like cement slats. Like it looks like a castle floor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so I thought, okay, this is gonna be forever. But then at some point I got like bored. I started walking around. I'm like, let's do this over. And man, did I step in it, man, because it's like it's not just one thing now. He just like, why don't we do all of X, Y, and Z? And next thing I know, I'm getting the entire kitchen done. So, and I'm getting
Oh
a great
man.
deal. So it's not a big deal.
Oy vey. Okay, so
I mean,
Dina, you seen my kitchen and
Yeah,
all like the thing that I want the most, I want a new floor more
yeah.
than anything.
I
Like,
mean, you could. So I will say. So I floor. I did this floor. I did like you see my basement. My basement's massive, obviously. I mean, it's a lot
yeah.
of flooring, obviously. So the only thing I say about flooring is like, obviously, if you haven't had any floods or like major damage, it should be fine, right? Obviously, it's just once you peel back the floor, is the subfloor bad? And then once the subfloor is bad, you got to rip it back and like, are the footers bad? I'm just saying. I mean, you just don't know until you really rip.
Yeah.
Obviously your house. I don't know your house that well. I'm saying from a structural standpoint, but
Right.
theoretically, putting a new flooring down, like your kitchen isn't that big. It's not like you have like you live in a
Right.
5,000 square foot house or something. And the thing too is like you could do your floor. You could do your floor in a weekend easily, especially if you get like tongue and groove snap like vinyl plank or something.
Yeah.
Dude, your kitchen would probably be I could probably do it in like 6 hours, probably. You know what I'm saying? That's me, like, you know, just having a table saw, ripping stuff, putting it down, clink, clink, clink. You know, that's what's everything's demoed and stuff. You know, it's easy. So
okay,
you know, it's not terrible, dude. It's just like you know, for a little bit, you're not gonna have, you know, you won't have any. You got to move the refrigerator. You got to move.
I know.
You know.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
that thing is packed and it's heavy.
Well, and the thing too is like, so you just got to think about it. It's like the hardest part with like starting the floor is starting it in the beginning, get everything like set up. But once you get the first like 2 or 3 rows down, basically you just want to go like a big diagonal kind of and get down to the corner or whatever.
Yeah.
But once you get halfway there, I would just roll it up kind of on the, be very careful, obviously, so you don't snap anything, but you can move all your stuff in a corner and then keep going along like when you're halfway, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible, you know. I mean, you just want to do floor, right? Do you want anything else?
Honestly, I want to start there and then kind of like see how I'm feeling after that.
Because honestly, it depends if your flooring is underneath. So it just depends if they put the flooring underneath your cabinets and then set the cabinets on top of the flooring.
Yeah.
Which isn't that, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Or, you know, did they put like, they'd leave it and then just set the floors on the subfloor and then, you know, stack around your stuff. They stacked around your stuff, that's easy. Because you don't have to move the cabinets, you don't have to do anything. You just like rip up your thing and just start from where the cabinets are and shimmy down or whatever, you know.
Okay. All right.
It's just, you know.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pick like anybody that has ever done any type of remodeling.
I mean, my dad's a master plumber. We've done our house. I've done my house. I've done everybody, you know, so it's just.
Yeah.
It's just the things people don't think is I just, you know, always go 25% more than your budget because that's really what it is. And probably like 25% more of your time. Like, oh, it's only going to take me a weekend. You know, maybe it's a weekend and a half. You know, it just depends on.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you don't know. So.
Okay. So, Lord Tabin, do the floor last. Don't redo a floor, then start remodel. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to like do all that and then like all the cabinets and stuff. You want to, you do want to do the floor last. But if you're not replacing anything and you just want to do like a floor job. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Did you guys go do any hunting or anything like that?
I did.
Yeah.
I got a PS2 for free. So I've been as you can see the wall, I'm in pricing comics. I'm done. I think I'm gonna keep these down here. I didn't even worry about them. And then I bought 3 more clamps for my thing. So I ran out of clamps. I bought clamps, like little Home Depot clamps for my little wall.
Yeah.
So I ran out of clamps because I only had 1 clamp left and I needed 3 more to like hang my last wall on the thing. But I found a new technique how to do the tie downs too. Instead of like using like string and tying it. I use these they're kind of like cord locks, kind of. I guess like paracord. I would just say more like paracord locks. Let's see if I can get one. Of course, I grabbed one that's not. Okay. So what I kind of did here was.
So you're gonna string those along the wall,
along the racks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the rack. Okay.
Yeah. So of course I grabbed one that's. The only thing hard about this is trying to get something that's actually not. Here we go. See if I can get one. Oh yeah, of course.
So just basically to keep everything stable.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I just make sure the books don't fall off, right? I mean, that's the worst fear, right? When your books fall off the wall, right?
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I seen that in Baltimore, dude. Dude had about 75 slabs on a wall, and they all came crashing out in Baltimore. He just picked them up and went back to CGC for reordering.
Okay, so imagine. Okay, so I was at a show, and the guy he had a backpack, right? And that thing was like bulging out. And he like turns and he hits a rack that wasn't up against the wall.
Oh boy. And
just like slabs just like started raining down.
So what I do is I have this cord lock and usually it's like a double hole one. But I was like, man, it's a pain in the ass to get the double hole down and you can't really tighten it down and yada yada. So what I do is I just roll it around and then basically I pull it tight and then the cord lock stays there, kind of like this. And so it can't move. And I just do the other side so it just stretches out really nice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So instead of me, I mean, that was the hardest part of putting the wall, like getting the string together and like trying to tighten it and all that stuff. Now I can just do that, put the cord grip on, and then it's like locked in there where it won't move. So
Okay.
yeah, and it's like yarn's cheap. I bought some yarn. The cord locks were like $40 or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like $30 or like something cheap, dude. So and then the poles and everything were nothing. So well, Paul was worried about the weight. Like, oh, it can't handle the weight, man. I mean, I could lift it up and it's all secure. You know what I'm saying? Not with all the books on it, but like 3 of the racks filled. You know?
Yeah.
And I can pick it up. I mean, it's still heavy. Don't get me wrong, because it's all, you know, wire racks and stuff. But it's up and down in 4 minutes. You know?
I'm looking forward to seeing the setup.
Oh, it's gonna be sick, dude. It'll be easy. You're gonna be like, why? You're gonna be like, why don't we do this? You know, it's just it's. I was talking to Z. Z's cheap, but he built like the first wood one with like the brackets, and you get like a gun, and like you know, you start getting screws and it gets stripped, and so that's not bad. I'm just saying you got things there. Mine just everything clips in and then shrinks back down, and like the bag. I think I have a bag over here. Yeah, the bag. So one of the holes, like it's not that big, dude. It's like maybe a size of a short box, kind of like a little bit longer. I mean, you can put them in long boxes if you wanted, but the poles shrink down to nothing, and they have like tripod stands at the bottom, so it's not like moving anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was if I look, I think it was on Amazon. I used let's see. Amazon. Let's see if I can. Oh, this one. What would you call it? Go to this. On this computer, it won't let me log into mine on my Amazon account. So no, I'm Firefox. Hold on a second. Orders.
I use the Brave browser so I can watch my free movie website in peace without any ads.
Here, if you can share my screen, hold on, let me see if I can do this. Here, I'll show everybody what. There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah. So this is what I bought, right? So it comes with the clips already, kind of, which is fine. So the clips all clip onto the thing. Bing, 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 bing. I went to Home Depot and bought more, right? Just go click, 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 and I don't use this bar. I just use the racks as the bars, you know, so I can fit one up here, 2, and they go all the way up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then basically it's only like you're so my old booth, it was like way up here. It's hard to hide, you know. It's when you start getting this low and this high, it's like maybe 6 foot high at most, you know.
Yeah.
So you can still reach the books where it's not like you're tipping over or like you got to reach or, you know. So, and then they all break down to this size and just shoot them in this little bag, and they have like bean or like sandbags and stuff. I mean, I'm not really worried about that at the end of the day, but you know, that's what I bought, man. And then I just use the little closet mate racks and clamp them together, and then the clamps, I just clamp them at the top and then underneath where like the bottom rail is, and boom, boom, and they don't move, and easy, man, easy peasy.
So, Heroes, what did you find this week?
As far as what books?
Yeah.
Dude, well, as you know, I'm setting up at New York Comic Con. I set up there every year. So usually the month or 2 before New York Comic Con, I mean, I already have a boatload of books because I do shows every month in New York, but small shows. But New York is the biggest, so I'm out there buying everything, like anything and everything. So my LCS is a really great spot to start because he just gets a plethora of collections coming in, or just, you know, like if you have a storefront, everybody comes to you, especially if you're the only guy in the area, you know. So he has a box set up, or actually 2 or 3 short boxes that he takes, like the typical books that most people are looking for, like stuff that you would prefer to find digging.
Yeah.
But so just to give you, because I mean it's a lot, but I don't want to show everything, but like, you know, stuff like this that you would like
blast
to
from
find.
the past.
Yeah, stuff you like to ideally just find, you know, but stuff that I haven't seen, you know, like this is spoof number 1. Never heard of it. But, you know, Marvel had a lot of things going on between their 15 and 20 cent covers. Like if you look at some of their little short run stuff. And then like he puts like interesting stuff like this. This is the New People number 1 Dell. It just looks like I don't know if you remember this M. Night Shyamalan movie called, what was it called? The Island or something?
The
Like he
Village.
wrote, oh, no,
Village.
the one where you get stuck on the beach. It was called The Beach, not The Island, The
Oh yeah,
Beach.
the beach.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
one. Oh
It
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
I was breezing through it, and it's kind of just like that movie. So, so I'm like, this is pretty cool. I have to look for more like that. And this Dell New Dracula, never heard of it, never seen it, but it's like his first cover. And then, the usual stuff that we like to see,
I
Wonder
got you.
Woman in Bondage,
Mhm.
some of the classic covers, the stuff we're always looking for. Like
Now,
this is the stuff, huh?
is it like San Diego where like not like you went to San Diego and like people were like, if you have like 30 long boxes, which is like a massive collection going anywhere else, it's like, oh, that's gone in a day. You need like a trailer or storage unit or something close by to like keep restocking every day. Is that how it is in New York? Kind of like if I brought 30 longs, that'd be gone in like the first like 4 hours or something crazy like that.
It's not, you don't get hit that hard. Meaning,
Okay.
I have friends that they probably get upwards of I don't know, 4 boots, like
Hmm.
all for one setup.
Hmm.
There, but they're like really big time dealers. Like
Yeah.
this, they're guys that make a living off of being dealers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go all the cities and stuff, so they really go full in. I just get one booth because I do really well. Like, you can
Yeah.
say a guy like me, and I consider myself small, even though some people wouldn't say I am, but I can make upwards of like 30 grand at Neo Comic Con. And when that's
Nice.
not bad for a 4-day show. And
Yeah.
you gotta remember, it's not like I need the money. This is fun. Like for me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired, so it's not like I'm dependent on how much I make, but I want to make, the money like everybody else.
Hmm.
But I'm not out there selling Hulk ones and AF-15s. Some of these guys, if you go to some of their walls, there's shit there that you can only see on heritage auctions at New York Comic Con. And
Hmm.
I've never been to San Diego Comic Con, so I'm just imagining it's the same, only because of the magnitude, the size of the show. So
Hmm.
I'm guessing they get those mega dealers out there. But
Oh yeah.
you get some of the biggest deals I've ever seen on in the States coming to New York Comic Con. So any
Hmm.
book, you'll see a detect, like first Batman, first Superman, you'll see
Yeah.
AF-15s, FF1s. Me, if I have that, I'll have like one of those books, but I
Right.
won't
Yeah.
have a selection of them like some of these guys do.
Yeah,
Um,
like for me, it's like Motor City Comic Cons are our big one here, at least in the
mm,
Michigan area. Not C2E2, but like a
right.
standard booth there is like $850. So like you're starting, relatively speaking, like $1,000 in a hole, And like it's like San Diego, right? San Diego
Right.
was god awful amount of money, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people are like that's why you got to sell, and it's like that's why people
Yeah.
bring dollar books just to get, so you can start making money right away and not just hope you sell a big book to cover your
Yeah,
expenses, right?
I don't I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't do anything dollar or $3
Hmm.
or $5. Like I don't have time for it. And it's not
Yeah,
because I don't think,
yeah,
I do have, usually I have something like a short box somewhere where if
Yeah.
somebody, like, usually when the kids come or whatever, I'll
yeah,
whip it out from under the table and I'll put it out, because sometimes they'll say, I'm on a tight budget. And kids are going over there looking to spend $20.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, okay, here, check this out. And I'll put out like anything priced from $1 to like 10 in the short box.
Hmm.
So, and then sometimes when it's a kid young enough, I just give them books. I give
Yeah,
away, books, because I'm trying to
that's
keep
all.
them.
That's all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's,
get their juices flowing. So I don't want them thinking like you have to spend money on me just to have a good time at the show.
yeah.
So I always keep that on the side too for certain people. But my boxes are typically the type of shit that you're digging to look for
Hmm.
everywhere else. But I only keep that type of stuff on my table. My
Okay.
wall books are typical wall books where you'll find anything from Golden Age, Silver, and I try to keep majority keys or something that's an attraction, big sellers and stuff like that, some foreign books that are really tough,
Hmm.
but usually things that are really difficult to get, because you have to find something to stand out. You
Hmm.
can't just be the average Joe set up at a New York Comic Con. You have to have some stuff. So
Mm.
I do, like, and but the thing is like I won't do a small comic show the month before or sometimes the month after, because the before, I don't want to sell
Yeah.
anything really kind of cool that I
Yeah.
can save for Comic Con. And then after I made so much money, I don't need to do a show in
Yeah. Right.
December. So in
Yeah.
a sense, my vacation from doing shows is December, because I'm good. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I don't need to do anything small. But It's. I mean, have you guys ever been in New York Comic Con at all?
No.
No.
What's the biggest show you've been to?
Oh, geez.
Uh, I mean Baltimore. I mean Baltimore, I guess.
Baltimore,
But
yeah.
I've been to. I'm into Charlotte too. I'm into Heroes Con.
Okay.
I went
Yeah,
to Indy Con was pretty big too. I guess back in the day it was. I don't
yeah,
know
I heard
now.
really good things about Heroes. I'm probably going to travel there just to check it out
So
because now that I'm
yes,
retired, I have to create a bucket list of shows to go. I have no excuse at this point.
yeah.
So
Heroes for me. I'll say this. So back in the day, some people were hyping up like, oh, you need to go Heroes and set up. So we set up, and it didn't go so well. Now the books we had? I don't know. Just maybe it was an off week. Who knows? But I will tell you, it's straight comic books. There's no like beef jerky sellers and
yeah,
whatever. It's straight comics, and it's like a crap ton of comic artists too. Like 100 or some big number of comic book artists, right?
right,
And it's everybody and everybody.
right.
And then it's downtown Charlotte. Now, when we went to Charlotte, it was really nice. I heard Charlotte hasn't been the greatest, but I don't know that. A couple like I went in like 2018, probably 2017, so I haven't been there in a long time. But
Right.
I thought it was a good time. I mean, you can find Golden Age stuff. You can find silver. I mean, you can just find there's everything there. It's not just like moderns or the latest variants or whatever. You can find Golden Age books. You can find big books. I mean, New Forces there. Obviously, they have like F1s, and if that's your fancy. I mean, and there's people with money who come into that show just for that show. I mean, it's probably. I haven't been in New York, but I guess I would say it's probably the best East Coast con. I guess you would call it. I don't. I mean,
There's some surrounding shows that are really have super potential. Like there's one in Jersey, which is just one bridge away from New York,
Mhm.
and it's called King Con, and I do that every year, and it's probably one of the best comic shows East Coast, second to New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
New York Comic Con, the difference between New York Comic Con and every other show that I do is that it's almost like being at a theme park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you walk into Comic Con, it's overwhelming. It's the entire Javits Center from one end to the other. And when it first started, it was a portion, and then it just got overwhelmed, and they just took over the whole Javits.
Yeah.
So now Artist Alley is ridiculous, bro. I don't know if you've seen the guest list for Artist Alley, but they're probably close to a couple hundred different type of artists and actors and everything. And you can lose your mind. That's when people say like I was waiting online for 2 hours. I'm like, but for who? There's like 200 people down there. Like it's got to be spread out. Like who's that big? But the thing that happens is if you get like a Peach Momoko, her first time doing New York Comic Con, she's gonna get 800 people online because it's the first time. If we get like a Mark Spears down there, he's gonna get 1,500 people online. You know what I mean? So those people, their first time at the show, they're gonna get hit hard, and their lines are gonna be literally 4 days straight. You're gonna be waiting 3 hours just to meet them. But if they're return guests, then you'll see that it gets a little more manageable. Like Adam Hughes is a big New York guy. He comes to all the big New York shows or East Coast shows. Alex Maleev, the list can goes on and on. Mark Teixeira, Sterenko is going to be at Royal Collectibles. Royal Collectibles is going to be on the main floor of New York Comic Con, and they brought in Sterenko to be at their booth, and they have a whole CGC submission thing set up and a signing booth for him. So sometimes you go on the main floor and you'll also see some of the bigger guests on the main floor instead of Artist Alley. But there's so much to do over there. And then you have all these mega companies. You have all the video game companies, trading card companies. You got to remember Pokemon, anime, whatever is big, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! All of that stuff is on the main floor. And then you have the Funko Pop setup. Like they have a Funko Pop that's like, it looks like it's 30 feet high. Lego is set up there. Topps Trading is over there, and it's like I said, it's like being at a theme park. So you can walk around literally for 4 days and still feel like, oh shit, like I didn't know this was here. Midtown Comics has a huge, tremendous setup in the middle, somewhere in the middle of the floor. McFarlane Toys is set up over there. Guys that you see, YouTubers that are these big, like Toy Federation type of YouTube shows. They, like guys that work those type of things, they're set up there. So you can literally, if you're there for vintage toys, they got vintage toys. They've got the video games, they got trading cards, they got Pokemon, anime, And then, of course, you have this one area, and I like to joke around and call it Bartertown. It's just the hardcore dealers. And you legit will find any book you're looking for. Only thing is, you're not going to stumble on a key book in a box unless somebody's sleeping. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, there are dealers that come from out of town, and I've gone through their boxes and I found some really crazy shit. And sometimes it's even ridiculously low, but you better find that shit on day one, because I can tell you by day three, guys like this, there's like 20 Carters, and there's 50 Bens, and there's 15 fucking Dinos, people who know what the fuck they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when they pull something out, they know what it is. So
Mhm.
you got to remember, those guys are busy from day one, bro. They're not waiting around for day four, So
Mm.
yeah, I got guys already trying to see if they can get early passes and get in, like trying to see if I can
Mhm.
hook them up with a exhibitor's pass. I'm like, dude, I can't, I can only stretch my
Yeah.
name out so much before I can, it's something, something comes back at me like, what's going on here,
Mhm.
Mm.
Like how many guys you have set up at one fucking table, you got 12 guys on, on your list for
How many
exhibitor
guys?
passes.
How many people per table?
Well, I mean,
So
it could be, what do you mean how many people?
if you
Like how
buy,
many
Per
guys?
booth.
yeah, how many helpers can you have?
Well, you can
Per
have an
table?
infinite amount, because it doesn't, like, as long as you're willing to pay, like after they
Okay.
give you, like, my booth is going to cost upwards of like $2,000, right?
Okay.
But again, it sounds like a lot, but if you're making
Mhm.
20, 30 grand, that's like nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but like this year, I have a kid that's going to work with me on the weekend. I really need him the most for breakdown,
Yeah.
for loadout. Load in, I have somebody helping me unload in. I'm paying them for the one day. They're just helping me, kind of like load the truck, bring it in.
Yeah.
It gets loaded, and they have union workers that have forklifts. They bring it to your spot, and then once you get to your spot, you do your makeshift setup. Whether you put up a wall, your tables, because you bring everything. They don't give you tables or anything like that. The only thing they provide is the glamorous atmosphere. That's it.
Really?
But
Mm.
yeah, they don't give you
Wow.
tables. You got to bring your own tables, your own walls, and that's it. And then when you're done setting up and you bring all your boxes in, all your comic boxes, you have to also have like security tarps and stuff to put over them. Although they have police and they have security that spend 24 hours a day in there when you're not there.
Mhm.
They have, stellar secure, high-tech security cameras everywhere. And yeah, people are still stupid and been caught on tape, fucking stealing and shit. But for the most part, you're secure, and you can have as many people as you want working at your booth. It's all a matter of after they give you, see, because I'm doing one booth, I only get two passes. So I get
Yeah.
mine and I get a helper, and that's part of my buy-in. And then anything beyond that is like $290. But for $290, you get a 4-day exhibitor pass that gets you in there at 7:30 in the morning. The show doesn't open till 10. So if
Mhm.
I hook up somebody, they have free reign to go anywhere they want, get online before everybody else, or
Yeah.
whatever they want to do. If McFarlane is dropping a signed exclusive limited to 100, you can be damn sure you'll be the first, person in there,
Mhm.
because you're in there at 7:30 in the morning when everybody else is running in at 9:30.
Mhm.
So basically you can walk around, scope out the place, kind of put a mental roadmap of the places you want to attack first. And I've seen people, like I said, I see what they do. They do what everybody else is trying to do. I don't mind helping out my close friends, because I know they're not gonna fuck up and embarrass me or anything like that. No, because if you get an idiot in there, they can burn the ability to be able to get extra passes for future cons. So
Mhm.
I saw that on the guest panel. Most of the X-Men animated series people, voice actors are going to be there. Like, do
right.
I just buy? So I have like an X-Men Adventures 1, like it's like, do I give it to somebody and let them sign it all? I don't know. Just things I think about. I try to get cool pieces that.
Yeah. I mean,
I
like,
don't know.
there's guys that go in, especially with the signing. You have to have a game plan.
Mhm.
In other words, you're going to spend, especially for big names, you're going to spend a good amount of time online.
Yeah.
That's a given. Especially when you finish with one guy, and then midday, you're now having to get on the end of somebody else big. So if you want to get, I don't know, Jim Lee,
Mhm.
you're gonna wait all fucking day for Jim Lee.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude, I
so
remember
you
Jim Lee. I remember Jim Lee back in the day at Motor City, dude. It was like
Yeah.
I don't know, call it 2015,
Right.
2016. There was nobody at Jim Lee's booth.
Mhm.
And he was charging like $50 for sketches. Like nobody. He was like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
good. It was crazy.
Dude, listen, I've met all of those guys pretty much when Image first started in New York
Mhm.
shows.
Yeah.
And like you said, nobody online. And I have so much original art commissions from them, and
Mhm.
in many cases for free.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, "Would you pay for that?" I said nothing. I said he was sitting there, and they were more than happy to promote their names and what they were doing, their projects. So when they first started working at Marvel, if you
Yeah.
asked them, "Hey, can you do me a Captain America?" Yeah, boom. And then meanwhile, 20, 26, 28 years later, the same piece is worth two grand. You know what I mean? But a good thing is I had an opportunity to do that way back then for little to nothing.
You know what's
Um,
interesting too is that they on the website at least it says they're all sold out for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the 4-day passes. They still got
oh yeah.
Thursday passes at $85. The 4 days for $280. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
interesting.
expensive, bro. And once it sells out, that's it. It's
Mhm.
it's done. Like you can forget unless you want to go to the secondary market and try to, because there are guys who buy the passes just to flip
Mhm.
them. They don't
Yeah.
even go.
Mm.
So they'll buy like they'll buy each day individually, then they'll buy like package deals like Thursday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. They'll buy those little package deals and then throw them on whatever ticket place you can buy from or eBay, and
I mean,
they're making triple,
VIPs.
quadruple.
Yeah, well,
You know?
VIPs is like $800. So, and that's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
access to like fast pass stuff or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah. I mean, you
interesting.
have you have literally everybody that's doing Daredevil. Punisher's going to be at John Bernthal. And the reason why I think he's going to be there, because usually he's not at New York shows, but he's filming right now out
Mm.
here, so it just makes sense for him to promote and to be here and get some signatures done.
I
Yeah.
should send you. I should send you my John Berthenol Punisher signed book that to Matt. It says to Matt on it. Maybe you'll find a Matt in New York City who wants to buy that book.
That's up to you. I got all the guys from Beyond Wednesdays are gonna be
Cool.
hanging out at my booth.
Nice.
I think Brian is going, Big Leg will be there, Clutch is gonna be there, but they have their own, I think Clutch has
Yeah.
his own booth as well. So, but they I already told them they're welcome to utilize my booth. If they want to bring some books, try to make a little money while they're there, I'm fine
Mhm.
throwing a couple of books on the wall for them. I'm not one of these guys looking for a commission or anything. Just do your thing. You know what I mean?
Dude,
I'm
Redman's gonna
more.
be there, dude. It's gonna be sick.
Who's gonna be there?
Redman, rapper Redman.
Yeah, yeah. What's his name from Run DMC will be there too. Run,
Yeah,
not Run.
Daryl
Daryl.
Daryl. Yeah,
Daryl McDaniel.
Yeah.
right. DMC. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a huge toy collector and he's a big comic guy too.
Nice.
So I met him, I don't know, like 10 years ago, and he was the coolest guy to talk to in person. Um, but there's going to be so many people there. Your head is going to be spinning. David Finch, like it just goes on. Eastside Ribic is going to be there. Um, Dude, it's just too many. Bilson Cabbage,
Yeah.
you
Crazy.
know.
It's so funny.
I don't-
It makes you wonder, like, okay, so the space must be like massive just because you have like just this many names
Yeah.
It is.
just for this.
Artist Alley is an entity all on its own. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the main floor. The main
Okay.
floor is like it goes on forever. It's
Mhm.
just tremendous.
Man, I
And
think I'd get overwhelmed to think, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'd be in that day where like I don't even want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
well, you know what's
Yeah.
going to happen, and it happens all the time. There are people who come in from out of town, and you wind up, especially when you're meeting your boys that you know online for the first
Mhm.
time, you wind up hanging out at their booth majority of the time. And then when the show's over, you're hanging out all night. So sometimes it's like, you get more caught up in the social aspect of it before you start, you know, enjoying the actual festivities of the show. So that's why I said you have to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, you're gonna get up talking to guys for 2 fucking hours and you're gonna forget I'm here to pick up some books.
Dude,
So
there's I downloaded the map, like the map of this thing. There's 4
right.
levels of this thing. The third level is just the show floor.
Yeah.
It's a
And
piece.
Can you share that?
Yeah.
Artist Alley is in, like I said, it's all the way on the other side of the Javits and it's on another
Okay.
level. So
Okay.
and anybody who's trying to meet like John Bernthal, he's the nicest guy in the world, man. You're gonna really love meeting that guy. He's the nicest guy. He'll take,
So-
he's just mad cool.
So you got level 1, right? Level,
Yeah,
so
look
we'll
at
just
this.
go, yeah. So level 5 is like just Empire stage, right? So I'm
Yeah.
sure that's where like panels or whatever is happening.
All
Then
right.
you have lounges, right?
Yeah.
Wherever level 4. There's some booths up there. It looks like probably for like signings or something. This is the show floor right
That's
here.
where I think where they do like panels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then here, and then you got
the showroom floor.
Yeah, showroom. Yeah, and then number 2 you see here the food trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
And then here's Artist Alley and stuff on the 1, right? Crazy, freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I love
But Artist
going here.
Alley, I'm telling you, you have to see how big Artist Alley is. It is not a small spot.
Man.
This whole thing, this Javits Center, it's probably the biggest event center I've ever seen. And again, I've never been to San Diego, so I don't know how big that one is. But Javits is literally, like I said, you can legit walk around all day and still not see all of it. So
I'm surprised that Whatnot and eBay don't have bigger spots. I mean, the Marvel's massive, obviously. Walmart, that's funny. Walmart has their own booth, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's do you know where your booth's at yet?
yeah, 1575.
Oh boy, look at you.
Who am I next to? Am I next to anybody important?
Let's look.
Like, is there any major?
So you're up on top up here. I mean, you're by the Crunchyroll section, I guess. If that's big. And
Wherever I'm at is exactly where all the hardcore comic dealers are at. So
yeah, so
that's
you're up here. Yeah, you're up here.
Yeah, that's where you want to be if you're looking just for hardcore books. But if you want to you want the whole experience of walking around and taking pictures and seeing shit that just crazy setups, you got to walk around and you got to go visit. Look at the Lego booth, look at Marvel's booth, look at DC's booth. I mean, because it's not just a booth; it's like a mega. It's like being in a miniature store.
Yeah,
these guys don't fuck around when they set up there. So
crazy. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, this is Artist Alley. Holy smokes!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. You see how many tables are in there?
Yeah.
And somehow they make that shit work, man. I know.
That's like 12 rows, man. 12 rows of all these things.
And like I said, I would if there's whoever the biggest guy is that you want that your main goal is, make sure that's the first guy you do on the first day that he's there. And do be like the first, maybe first 10 or 20 online if you can. Once you get that out of the way, then you can go running around and saying, oh shit, there's that guy. Most of the other dealers, I mean, not dealers, the guest artists and stuff or writers, they're a little more attainable. They're easy to get to or quick in and out of lines if it's a lesser or an older guy. But the really big mega names, and like if you get like Souza Micah is there or whoever is Lobos. Lobos is a huge fucking attraction. And there's probably what 20, 30 other big names between DC artists and Marvel and Image. And then you got all the other indie companies. Whoever the biggest artists there, you're gonna see them there. And so as it goes in levels, whoever the biggest names are, you're gonna see the most ridiculous lines, the sickest lines, the longest waits. Those are the ones where you better have a bottle of water with you, maybe a little snack, because you don't want to get offline. You don't want any problems because it could be agitating to see somebody get offline and then come back and say, "Oh, I was standing here."
Are they doing on-site grading at CGC?
They do all of that shit. What do you mean, like how
Baltimore
you
back in the day
submit and they give it back to you?
Back to you, yeah.
I don't think so, man. I think
because that's Baltimore's big draw for us. So like us boys, we go because we could be at a rack of books, and then you get a rack of books back, obviously, and it would be on site. You drop it off on Friday, right, or whatever. You get them back Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Usually.
I don't want to tell you that. I'm sure if you go to CGC onto their site, they'll tell you what they're doing for New York Comic Con because that is a relevant show for them. So if there's rules or submissions or however they're doing it the quickest, they'll explain it there. I don't want to speak on what they're doing because I really don't know. I try not to get involved in that because again, I'm so busy either selling or if I am trying to do something where I'm trying to hurry up and get something done, I go before the show starts and I make deals and I run back to my booth,
So it's just Baltimore and GalaxyCon and Columbus, I guess, which is weird, but there you go. Look at that. Home videos. Video games
Yeah.
on-site grading for comics only. So, but still, it's interesting.
Okay.
So CGC does on-site grading at Baltimore.
Yeah, so that's why we used to go all the time. So we would hold all our books, and then
Yeah.
we always used to say you get the grade bump from Baltimore because they're just looking through books every day, right? And it's just like people, dealers are. You could bring as many books as you wanted until they shut it down eventually. Like, I mean, dealers would bring in like 300, like a long box, and like grade all this crap. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's moderns only. It's not like you can bring like a 181 or something like that. Usually it's
Right.
moderns only. But still, I mean,
Yeah.
you could bring racks of books and then be like, here, I want these all graded, and you fill all the paperwork, and then they encapsulate them all. And on Sunday, they say, hey, check in on Sunday at some time, and you can get your books. And then people would just bring, stacks and stacks of boxes back
Well,
of like graded.
The cost is considerably more, though, right?
No,
No,
not
it's
really.
the same. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, and you only got to pay for shipping either. So obviously,
Yeah, I don't think they can do that at New York Comic Con.
I mean, I would be so busy, but I mean, so I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they rent their own like room in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Like at the con, and then they just like at the convention center and just grab all the books and put them back there, or in like a hotel conference room or whatever it is. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
I like the eerie nature of the canceled section here. I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
Right. It's almost like the page of people who
it's like Avengers Endgame.
Right.
Like,
it looks like
it's
in memoriam.
Memoriam.
Is that the Thanos snap? The people who didn't make it?
Yeah. Shout out to Brian McClay and Beyond Wednesdays. They were talking about me on Wednesday.
Nice, dude.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
He plugged me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I caught some of that towards the end, and he was talking about just the laundry list of shows you have that go back, and like, dude, because I've been watching you for a long time, and when there's people who are saying, "Oh, I got to go check him out," I'm like, dude, you better have like a lot of time. He's got a lot of videos up there, and but very educational. I tell people you learn a lot, watching you and there's a couple other guys that are really good at explaining what their pulls are, the fines, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember and I would like to believe probably during COVID you probably got the most views, right? As far as that's where you got an uptick in views is during COVID.
You know what? That was I had a lot of output around 2021, around that time. It's weird. I believe so. It's kind of
I was in the same boat too.
It's all a blur.
Yeah. I think I started watching like Dino and all those guys on Flipside during COVID.
Yeah.
And then I do remember how ridiculous the shows sometimes would get when you guys were going over the price hike on COVID pricing. And I just remember thinking like, I just watching the shock in everybody's face every time somebody would post up what a giant size X-Men #1 8.5 is going for, and when you hear like, 13,000, 14,000, it's like, what's going on? Like most of us, including me at home, was thinking like, I guess I'm out. There's no way, there's no way I can keep up with this shit.
Right.
So I had to be happy that I had what I had, so
I'm reacting to them, reacting to me.
Yeah.
Reacting to them, reacting to me. So, all right. What are we doing? What are we talking about? There was a lot of strong sales this week, like a lot. And it was weird because it was all on eBay. And it was like these like super key issues. I'm like, why isn't this on Heritage? You know what I mean?
Yeah, real quick, before you jump into that, I just want to ask both of you a question.
Yeah.
Because both of you do content for all this time and up to now, do you ever watch like Whatnot live sales or eBay live sales and then say, do I report on this? Because there is a drastic difference what somebody would be paying on those live sales versus an actual auction that's running on eBay?
Nah, the live sales feel like anomalies to me.
Same.
Like outliers to where it just and it's so many like live sales, it would be tough to keep track of that.
So what I guess I would say more, because I guess whatnot kind of came when the channel was kind of booming, obviously for us.
Right.
And like at the end of the day, I just, it was so new that I didn't want to include it. Not saying it's not new now or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just,
Right.
you didn't know who was on the other side. Not saying it was like it was so new. It was like, is it your friends bidding up stuff, and it's just, you know,
Right.
is it like, or people getting great deals because you have three viewers in the room and not 300?
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of count eBay, even Heritage the same way. So Heritage, eBay, like all the big ones, I just know it's established. I know there's people there.
Right.
There's less fuckery around, I guess, if you want to call it. I mean, you can get great deals. I mean, it's not like I haven't got great deals on like a Whatnot, or I haven't got great deals. Like I've done a Whatnot, you know, I bought on Whatnot. I haven't bought on eBay Live yet, but you know, it's just like for me, it's like, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm just wondering, like, have you ever felt compelled though to report a sale that you witnessed that's of a relevant book? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've pulled some insane books that, particularly late at night, you know, when their viewing is less, and then you got guys like, I'm gonna show you. There was a book. I can't. Oh, this. I picked this up on a live Whatnot sale.
Oh, I haven't one of those. Yeah, that's
Right.
nice.
Yeah. But I only paid like, I think $28 for it. But this is not a $28 book. You know what I mean?
No.
But what I'm saying is, like, if I was reporting, do I fuck it up for myself and start telling people, look what I got on Whatnot Live,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
report
yeah,
the
yeah.
sale, and then people are going to start saying, it's no different than you saying, look at this book, you know, it's interesting, or it's a ghost,
Well,
and all of a sudden people gravitate to that book every time.
It's like this, right? I
Yeah,
got this on
yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, right? Does that really count?
Right.
I mean, because it's a marketplace, but you know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of take it as. It's like, I think you can get wins, and I mean, you get losses too. I mean, people can buy big books on that stuff too. And it's just like, I just think of it as one of those, like, oh, I went to Goodwill and I found a New Mutants 98 for $1 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I count it like that. Like, hey, this guy, like you got that book for $28. That's a win. It's an outlier to me at the end of the day, right? So that's how I look at them.
Because I noticed, like when we're doing book alert, right, and then Mercenado will be referring to either the census or eBay, you know, the higher sales on this particular book, which was interesting, whatever. And then I'm just wondering, I never really, and it's not just you guys, it's anybody else. I never really hear anybody say, you know, I was watching the sale and Whatnot, and I saw a Hulk 180, you know, with a missing Marvel stamp, you know, sell for, you know, $88. You know what I mean?
I think it's just
I never hear people reporting about that. So
I think it's just the variables, and I think it'd be different if it was like one show an hour, not like 85 people going out throughout the whole night, where it's hard to be attention worthy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the other problem too. It's like, not saying, you know, if you get some, and it's like going to like any auction house or like any place that has like, it's an estate sale, right? Do you go to a estate sale with 30 people, or you go to a estate sale with 3,000 people? And it's just like, you know, it's like, that's how I kind of look at it. I'm like, those are going to be the gray areas, because, you know, nobody's going to go. I guess, Carter, me and you, and even you, Heroes, it's like, how many people come to you and say, oh, that sold on Whatnot for 35? Nobody's ever came at me and like, oh, I went on eBay Live for $26, bro. Like, there's no like tracking mechanism right now for eBay and Whatnot sales. You know, it's not like GPA, like, oh, GPA of Whatnot or eBay Live. It'd be insane.
It's like the thing, you actually have to see it though. That's the thing. Like I said, I'm involved in it because I know how certain sellers are, or what they kind of books they put up, or how often they refresh. So I know when to jump onto their live sales. So it's like there's certain people, like, but if I was the type of person creating content and saying, okay, maybe I'll report something from Whatnot, but you would actually have to get screenshots during the sale.
Correct. Screenshots during the sale, and then verify that it actually went out. Not saying they didn't pay, you know, I mean, just not saying eBay they couldn't do it either, but it's just less likelihood, I guess.
Oh, and me, I really don't watch like the live sales or anything like that. Like I've tried to, but I'm just kind of like, it's to me, for me, it's just too much.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind it, but it's just I'm just watching so much other stuff that it's just a little too much. So
good enough.
Yeah. All right. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Oh, before I start, I wanted to talk about this guy here. This is Billy from, I don't know if anybody watches The Game Chasers or not, but they started off as the YouTube channel started off as Captain 8-Bit, and the show was called The Game Chasers, and then they changed the channel name to The Game Chasers. But I've been watching these guys, God, I want to say since like 2012 probably. It's been a really long time, like a real long time. But they go around, and I think they're in Texas, and they go around and to like flea markets, retro game stores, and stuff like that, and just pick up retro games. And here's the thing: I don't know anything about retro games outside of the stuff that I played when I was a kid on the NES and the Genesis. I don't know anything about retro games. I don't even want to know anything about retro games, but I understood the passion, and I understood like how they dug. You know what I mean? Because I can just switch with games, with comics. I'm like, oh, I'm just like these guys.
You can relate to it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it was a couple weeks ago, I think he had reported. So one half, you got Jay and Billy here, and if you see here, like this was just like 3 weeks ago. He's in the hospital, and he has a brain tumor. You know what I mean? And man, and it was like a couple days later they operated on him, and he had a video where I think he was, right here, and like they literally opened up his skull and operated on his brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're hoping, I was hoping that
for the best outcome.
Yeah, it'd probably be like a slow recovery, but I was thinking, maybe like a year or two, he'd be back on his feet and digging for games, and I'd be watching their show. You know what I mean? And like, I would say probably every couple of months they would do a Game Chasers episode. But like I would stop whenever they would post a video. I would stop. I put the video on full screen and just like kick back and watch it. But to me, if you haven't watched the channel, I would definitely. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
So he's like one of the two. What is it, like two guys, and he was like one of the main guys.
Yep. Let's see.
How long ago did he pass?
This was literally a couple days ago.
Okay.
And here's their so their last video was 2 months ago. Their last Game Chasers episode was 2 months ago.
That's unfortunate, man. He looked like he was a pretty young guy still.
Yeah, I think he might have been a year younger than me.
Right.
And I'm like, 47? So, and he also, went after toys and stuff like that. 80s toys and stuff. So, damn. There's a lot more that I probably could say, but yeah, man, that sucks. That really sucks, because I've been rocking with these guys forever. Oh, on top of that, I even have I even bought their first season on DVD.
Okay. Wow.
I've had this thing forever.
They actually have a DVD set, huh?
Yeah. It just I've had this thing forever.
Right.
I don't even remember when they put this out. I want to say like maybe like 2012.
Approximately how many seasons or years have they been running?
Shoot, man. I'm thinking, let's see, videos, oldest. So wow, like okay, so the first one was 14 years ago.
Wow. Jesus.
And I think they have like 90 episodes. So, but like I said, it's like they put them out like every
few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot goes into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you got to imagine what they're doing. It's not like if they're looking for old, like it's like a game, like video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're, I mean, that stuff is got to be much tougher to track. Real good source, resources of finding locations and finds, and like you said, creating material for a show and putting it together to make it worthwhile. It probably takes a couple of months to put all, to find legit stuff to actually make an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like comics or trading cards where you can pretty much go anywhere for that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are at flea markets, estate sales. I remember there was
Yeah.
an episode where him and his partner Billy, him and his partner Jay, they were literally they went to a neighborhood and just like cold knocked on people's doors. It's like, hey,
Right.
you got any you got any video games? You got any video
Yeah.
games? You know what I mean? Like how hungry they were for games.
Right.
I feel that. I feel that. But
Well,
yeah, man.
condolences to Billy's family and all his closest friends and all his followers, that were into him for that many years,
This yeah, man, this really sucks.
Yeah.
This this is a gut punch, honestly. But yeah, man. Whew.
But if you think about it, if when that happens to anybody, even in this community with the comics and the YouTubers and
Mhm.
they're whether I mean you don't necessarily have to have been on air for over a decade. There's guys that have only been watching for just a couple of years, and if something like that happened to them, which we have had some people pass away, where it hurts, to see because you almost feel like these are people that you watch when you have time and they're a part of your day or your week. There's people who I see people in the comments where sometimes they'll say I can't, I'm working, but I'll catch you on the rewind, you know what I mean? But there are people who make a point to tune into you. So if something happened to somebody that we enjoy watching during the week, it hurts just the same, whether it's 2 years or 10. So
Absolutely, man.
yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace, Billy. All right, let's get into it. We've been talking for a minute.
Yeah.
Before we even got into
Right.
any
The
comic book
intro
sales.
the intro was practically a show in itself.
Yeah, we do our thing. We do our thing here. All right, let's do some sales. Okay, look at this. Have you ever seen sealed
Yes.
golden record reprints?
Yes.
These
I've
are
seen,
amazing.
I'm not all of them, but I've seen at least, I think there's what, 4 or 5 of them, right? There's Journey to Mystery, Avengers 4, FF1,
Mhm.
what else? Spider-Man 1. Maybe
I
there's
wonder.
only 4. Oh, wait, I said Journey to Mystery.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's around 4 of them, maybe.
Did you say Avengers 4? Oh, yeah, Avengers 4 is right there.
Yeah, Avengers 4, Journey to Mystery, FF1, Spider-Man 1. It might be just the 4. And I've seen probably maybe all 4 of them. I've seen them all. In New York, it's not an unusual thing to find either that with the cellophane still on it, but open, like slit open,
Yeah.
or sometimes just, completely open and you'll find the book and the record and the cover.
Look at this.
But I could have probably had all 4 if I was like focusing on that, but I just don't. I've had the books and I sold them, but
This is how I want them if I
yeah.
ever get them.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would have to imagine how expensive that is to find that book still original sealed to the album casing.
This is amazing. Look at that.
Yeah. There's a guy out here in New York. A lot of people know him because he's been around forever. Mike Carbonero.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's got stuff like that, like from time to time. It's like it's ridiculous. But you would find stuff like that in his setups or on his eBay. He's like Indiana Jones, man. He finds it all.
Okay, so let's look at this. This like I've never.
3,500 seems a little wild though, man.
I know that's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know. What is that? I mean, like I've seen those books I've had those books slabbed. I've had them slabbed anywhere between 4 or 5 to as high as an 8.0, right?
Okay.
They're not really expensive unless they're going into 9.0 and higher range, So they're not pricey, the books themselves, but to find it originally like
Still
that,
sealed. Yes.
that's insane though. That it does go to another level. I just don't know. Do you feel like it's a $3,500 level?
I'll put to okay. I'll ask the audience. I'll ask the chat here. What would you rather have? A sealed golden record reprint or a low grade
First print.
original or a
Yeah,
low grade original of that same book
right.
for the price? You know what I mean?
Well, if you go based on which books they've done, I think when it comes to like a Journey into Mystery or FF1 or Spider-Man one, I'd rather have the low grade copy. You know, like the original first print copy, not a golden record copy. But like Avengers 4, I feel like I can find that anytime I want. And so if I found it sealed to the original album like that, I might chase that first because it seems more of an anomaly to find it original and sealed like that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Sold.
Most
Okay.
people are saying in the chat low grade original.
A low grade original. Okay.
That's most people I can see seems like they're
All right, so we got this, which sold for what 30? We'll just say it did sell for 3,900. So you'd rather have this over
absolutely.
the sealed golden record?
Yep. If I didn't have either one and I had $4,000 to spend, I would
Yes.
be aiming at a low grade first print of A Journey into Mystery or fuck that record. I'm sorry I had to read that. But
And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that one bit.
have you owned these copies outside of the album, like just the books?
No, I've never been interested in them.
Yeah.
Like I'd just
I've
rather have the original.
Yeah, I've had all four of them at different phases, not all
Mhm.
together, and they're interesting. It's fun. It's because they literally came out, I think, maybe just a few years after the original drop, right?
Yeah.
So all of the materials the same, the paper, the covers. It's I'm telling you, it's the only thing different is the advertisement because they advertised the golden record on the back page, the back cover, I should say. And inside the front cover is an advertisement for the golden records. So there's of course, and then you have no price on the cover of the golden record reprint. So, but I've sold them all. You know, I couldn't it just didn't seem authentic for me to keep it as a piece of my collection because I'd rather always have the original first print.
I got you. Right.
Yeah.
And take a look at this. So we got Tales of Suspense 39. First Iron Man, of course. So a CGC 8.5 sold for $35,000. $35,000.
It's an 8.5 though, man. That's like a high grade Bronze Age grade, you know, like that's a legit grade.
Is
you know?
that is that a decent price or for something like that high grade?
I'd be the wrong person to ask because I don't think if I'm in the game for 35 grand, I'm looking for you know, I'm going much bigger on a key book than a Tales of Suspense.
Oh, okay.
If I mean, think about it. If you had if because you got to factor taxes on top of that. It's not you're not just paying a flat 35 grand.
That's for
So
sure.
you're probably paying another, you know, over $3,000 in taxes and you know, um if you had 40 grand to spend, are you looking for a high grade Tales of Suspense 39 unless you're a super diehard Iron Man fan? But I can think of still legendary books that go bigger than those books, you know.
Oh,
And
jeez.
how many of them can you buy? You know, like if you're thinking if you spent, you know, 4 to 8 grand on mega, you know, like what we consider really grail books,
Yeah.
you know, I probably want to own, you know, maybe 6 different mega grail books before I get one Tales of Suspense. But that's for a different type of collector, bro. That's not you and I. That's or yeah, that's a whole, you know, that's a guy who's got, you know, he's got security at his house or he's got he drives into his You know, it doesn't have a driveway or doesn't park in the street. You know,
Eh. Okay,
it's a diff-
so
it's a different lifestyle.
you ain't lying. Well,
Yeah.
here's a 9.0 that sold. When did this thing sell? It sold just a couple days, just a few days ago. So on September 13th, the Heritage, you have a 9.0 that sold for 84,000.
Yeah.
So that's not too far off.
Yeah, if you think about it, it almost sounds cheap when you compare it because Iron Man is a legendary character. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he got big after Downey Jr. did the movie because I remember Iron Man used to, in my opinion, I'm not speaking on the comic community, but Iron Man was more of a B-list character or even maybe almost a C plus. You know what I mean? He was always part of either the Avengers and or when he did his independent book, I mean, I wasn't really that excited about it when I was a kid growing up. It was always for me Spider-Man, X-Men, um so I think he got big after the movie. So I mean, but a 9.0, that seems cheap for a 9.0 because he's right now, he's for the past since 2008, he's been a legendary character in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like he's been pushed up to being almost like on a Batman level since the movie.
I agree with that.
To an extent. I'm not comparing
Yeah.
Batman and Iron Man. I'm just saying he's as relevant as far as since the movie came out. Like you can't talk about, when people talk about who can beat Batman, Tony Stark is always thrown in there because they're both billionaire, geniuses that are regular guys in suits with devices. So
But yeah, strong price, but I think it's I think it's an overall deal, but
but
not for me though.
no, definitely not for me.
All right, next, a 9.0 Hulk number 3. Um uh so this thing sold for $11,880. Like, I mean, if you're spending that much on a Hulk 3, yes, it is part of that original 6, you know,
Yeah.
but
I,
I'm just not seeing it, man. I'm not
I
seeing
have
it.
I have the original 6 slab, but I don't have anything near that great. Mine I think my number one is a 1.0. My number two is a 3.5, and my from 3 to 6 are like I think they're all between 3 and 4, like
Yeah.
so I can never wake up and imagine that I'm living in a world I have a 9.0 anything of legendary books like this.
But shoot. I I gotta, like, if you got that much to spend, I keep saying for books like this, if you have that much to spend, then you got everything else.
Or you already have other issues in that 6 issue run that are all in that grade level, so
Yeah,
you're keeping
exactly.
it consistent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
you got
you would have to have it in your head that I already have like a 7.0 number one, and I have a probably an 8.5 number two. So you're thinking already I'm only going that high. Like I'm not
mhm.
gonna a guy who has those level of grades and that kind of money is not looking at a 4.0 ever. It's not even an option for him. So yeah, dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
they got everything else in high grade. So,
pretty much, yeah.
all right, next is Fantastic Four number 1, CGC 7.0. Look, I mean,
Yes,
these are really strong prices here.
yes, it is.
This 7.0 sold for 47,000.
And that was the best offer, it looks like, right? It says list
Yeah.
price and then sell price.
Mm-hmm.
So he took just over 10 grand less for the
Yes.
book. Hmm.
47 grand. Which one would you rather have? This Fantastic Four number 1 or the Tales of Suspense 39?
FF number one all day. They
Re-
they are the first,
okay.
you know?
I like Tales of Suspense better.
Yeah, I know. Just FF really, they're the first. They're the first time superhero, regular people became superheroes in front of the world. They didn't even have costumes in the first issue. Like they were wearing, like Reed was in a suit. Ben, like there was not even a costume until issue 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they were the first. They dealt with the first threat level to the planet, which was Mole Man, creature coming in from under the ground. Yeah.
I remember the first time, like I think it was like maybe 13 or something like that. And I saw the cover for Fantastic Four #1, and I'm just going, "What is this?" I was so used to the superheroes
I
version of
remember
Fantastic Four.
I remember the first time I owned a FF1, I couldn't sleep at night. I
Oh,
remember the
really?
first time I had my first copy owned was a 3.0 CBCS. And I just remember when it finally arrived, because I did buy it I didn't get it in an auction. It was a personal sale transaction, and it was through trusted sources. It was a Facebook community thing. Like where a
Yeah.
guy that we all knew each other, and so I asked somebody, "Is this guy legit?" And they're like, "Oh, absolutely." So I said, "Okay." So I made a deal with him, and when it arrived, I couldn't sleep. I think I spent a good portion of the night. I just kept looking at it. I angled it, like against the wall, and I was just staring at it from
I
afar, watching TV, and I kept looking at it. So
I totally believe that.
yeah.
I'm thinking I would do the same.
Yeah, because it was probably the first when you first own like an AF-15 or Spider-Man 1, FF1, Tales of Suspense, 39, or even I don't know about Journey into Mystery. I don't feel that way about Thor and Iron Man, but I know the FF1, Spider-Man 1, AF-15, when I first owned those, I just remember feeling like, like even waking up the next day and saying, I almost feel like putting this shit on the table while I'm drinking my coffee. I need to look at it for a while before I get, it's a new toy,
Yeah,
and
it has to soak in.
right. So
All right. Next is I for whatever reason, I think this is a great price.
yeah, that's a
For
fantastic price.
okay.
I'd buy that all day at that price.
Amazing Spider-Man 129, CGC 9.6. This thing sold for $5,401
Right.
after 51 bids. For a 9.6, a 9.6 for
is
5 Gs.
right. That's a great deal. I like that deal.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
if I didn't already have, a copy in the 9s, I'd be
Right.
like, "Oh wow, that's terrific. That's a
Yeah.
terrific price." So,
I mean, I'm completely happy with I have a 9.2, and but I bought that a long time ago, and I think I only paid like $950 for mine.
mhm.
And for me, I think I'm good with that. I'm not even thinking about, I mean, although a 9.6, if I would definitely be into buying that for that price.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got to imagine this thing they must have caught this thing literally at the right time.
Yeah, it does seem low because I think if I can win, if I was into the bidding for that, I would have
Yeah.
definitely went into close to 6 grand. I'm not saying I'd win because who knows, the guy that actually won, he probably would have kept going. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if I did win that, I would definitely flip my 9.2, and plus I'm not even kidding. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. I have around 8 copies, all grading between 7.0 and 9.2. So I just sell them all, and I would just own the 9.6.
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Compare compare that to like the 2021 prices for a 9.6, then yeah, you'd think it had dropped off a cliff.
I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's too low, because well before the pandemic, and when I say well, I'm thinking 2016. I seen a guy on the showroom floor at New York Comic Con when I was set up. He came up to me with a 9.8, and he was willing to sell that shit to me for 8 grand. And
Holy
back
crap.
then, that felt far-fetched.
What
In
year was that?
2016,
2016. Okay.
right? And I remember him coming to me and asking if I was interested in purchasing the book, and he pulled it out of his bag. And when I saw it, I said, man, I said, that's only, you can only dream about having that in a 9.8. And when he said $8,000, I couldn't fathom paying $8,000 for it at that time. Now, people would, hurt other people to spend, $8,000 on a 9.8. You know, so 9.6 seems cheap for 2025. It's
Yes.
because I'm relating it to 9.8 being $8,000 in 2016, which was being proposed to me. So $5,000, or 5,400 seems way cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? Fighting 5, number 40, first appearance of Peacemaker. CGC 4.5 sold for 4. I'm not sure why I put this. I'm not sure where I put this up. I just did. 4.5 sold for $400. This book is going strong still, I
Oh,
suppose.
it's Peacemaker,
Yeah.
What is that? That's that company Charlton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they I mean, listen, they're getting their day, when does anybody ever talk about a Charlton book until Peacemaker came out?
I know, right? Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. No, never.
I get
It-
once in a while they have some horror books that are cool to look at comic shows, and I do buy a lot of them because Steve Ditko did a lot of books back then. I think in the early '70s, late '60s. But that's not worthy. Like you don't hear people talking on YouTube about Charlton books. So
I only like the Silver Age Charlton romance.
yeah.
Oh, and on top of that, like I remember specking on, gosh, I think it was, I forget which character it was, Sarge Steele and
Right.
the Smiling Skull. I remember specking on that. First
I
appearance of
do.
the Smiling Skull.
I remember that being on um, one of your shows.
Yeah.
I didn't think I
Let's
bought
see.
that book. I saw it at a show when I was digging, and when I pulled it out the box, I was like, I gotta buy this just because I saw you talking
I
about
took
it.
a,
It made me appreciate the interest, of the cover because it was an interesting cover.
yeah, this is a great cover.
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah,
hoping maybe James Gunn will like do something
yeah.
with this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I bought that. Not in a definitely not a 7.0. I think it's more like a 3, but it was raw, and I was like, when I never paid attention to it until you threw it up on your shelf, and then I saw it in a guy's box, and then I was like, oh, I gotta grab this, man. This is kind of actually cool. It's a lot going on in there if you pay attention to all the details.
Hmm.
The villain is just really cool looking. And that you got a Nazi flag on there, the woman in distress with the red dress,
Yeah.
the hero on the cover like saving her,
All the tropes. You got
yeah,
pretty much every cool like Silver Age, Golden Age
yeah,
trope right
yeah.
here on one cover.
Yeah.
So I love this.
He's infiltrated a Nazi cave with a revolver, so
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I love this book. All right, next is The Power of Shazam. Number 4. So this is the DCU logo variant. I've been after this book forever. I can't find it.
Right.
The ultimate fake out is whenever I'm digging in a long box
Mhm.
and I see a Power of Shazam 4, then you just go a little bit further and you're just like, you see barcodes or some dumb shit like that. It's just like, ugh.
You know what kills me is there's guys like, and again, I know you don't spend a lot of time on whatnot, but sometimes you'll see a guy advertising DCU only, like a live sale, and then like you'll tune in. But what happens is if enough people, or the right people, hear about it, then you're screwed because
Yes.
anything worthy buying, you're gonna spend like as if you were at a show or on a regular eBay auction. It's not one of those things that really slipped through the cracks, but there were a couple of guys that did these massive DCU sales, and I did grab some, but it's like the really, really hardcore stuff. You were paying legit prices on it, but they're fun to find,
Love to find those.
Yeah.
All right. Winter Soldier, Bitter March, number 1. So this is the Comics Pro variant for this. Okay, so I remember coming across like 2 copies of this at a convention. I know I sold one, but I'm not quite sure if I sold the other. I don't know if I still have it or not, but We had a copy that sold for $100. Not too much to say about it. Just I like this cover, and there is another version of this. I think it's like a different. It's like a convention exclusive variant, but and it has a logo where the Comics Pro is. But I like this one. I like the Comics Pro better.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I like this. Not bad for. I think I
Yep.
sold mine for about that much too. But I'm hoping that I still have another copy. All right. Okay. So some more strong Golden Age sales. Catman number 21, CGC 6.5 sold for 3,700. You know what? The pictures on this suck. So I'm gonna see if we can get-
1943 bondage cover.
All right. Okay.
Catman books are tough. I see once in a blue moon, but they're usually priced way high. You know, I'm talking about at shows.
So
So
yeah, my dealer friend, he the only Catman I ever saw, he bought it just a couple weeks ago. All right. Yeah, this looks good. Not mad at this. All right. Next is the Human Torch 18.
gotta be a Schomburg cover, right?
Let's see. Okay, so CGC 5.5 sold for $1,975. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Do I have it? Do I have the listing?
Believe it or not, that's extremely reasonable for that grade.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
It really is, because they're not easy to get in a clean condition like that. They're really I have quite a few Human Torches, and I'm willing. There was a time I was buying them. I didn't give a shit. I was buying them in 1.0, 1.8 because I was getting them for $300-400, you know. But that was, like I said, hell a long time ago. Now same grades, you know, can get minimum of 1,000. So if somebody's getting a 5.5 for just under $2,000, that's pretty decent.
Dang, this thing's got everything going for it. Look at that.
And that's a Schomburg cover, I'm pretty sure, because he did majority of the covers in that ballpark. Yeah.
Alex Schomburg cover, yeah.
Yep.
Beauty. All right. Next is we did this one. Fantastic Four #1. We did that one. All right. Something is Killing the Children #6. Jenny Frison sketch. This book is still going strong. I'm not too much to say about it, but it's just it's nice to catch up with Something's Killing the Children, see what these books are selling for. You know what I mean?
Well, you see, you got two of them on there. I noticed I have that whole run so far, and I have a lot of the variants, and I'm never really interested in selling. Like, I personally like the series, so I'm never looking to sell them. But I notice, like, some people will say, like the newer stuff, when you see, like, say, Monsters, Space Monsters, and some people will say, well, watch in a year or two, it's going to completely fall off, or the price is going to drop. You know, Something is Killing the Children is the issues from, like, particularly the first half before it stopped, and it went to House of Slaughter, and then it went back to Something is Killing the Children again.
Yeah.
But the first run still commands really good money. And it didn't even run that long, meaning I think the first part of the series stopped around issue 21, I want to say. And then it stopped, and it went to House of Slaughter for a while, and then it went back to Something is Killing the Children, and picked up again from like 22 or 23. And they still get good money. And that's why I tell people, if the story is good, it's a really great read, and it's got really good art, which this one checks all the boxes. You know, Something is Killing Children has always had really great interior art, cover art, and even when they bring on guest artists to do variants, they've always picked the right people. You know, Frizen is always a home run. They've had some Scotty Youngs. They've had a couple other people. I think there might be a J. Scott Campbell, and a couple of other big artists. But Bill Sienkiewicz has done some of their variants. It's gonna hold because it's a really solid story. You know, and it's good writing. You know,
Mike,
So,
you bought that number 8. I
he's
didn't
the
know
guy who
that.
bought-
I didn't know that. I guess it didn't show up in the mail yet, did it? That's funny, man.
he didn't have any competition. He was the one bidder.
Uh, oh, you got it? You got it? Oh, shoot. All right. I guess I'll have to check it out when I come by again, when I come by the house. Something's Killing Children number 8, 1 to 25. This raw copy sold for $560. Okay. Not delivered yet. Okay. All right. So I gotta see what you think about the how do you think the condition is on it when you get it? All right. Next is, what is this? A 30-cent variant
I have that.
for, look at this.
Not a 9.8, but I think mine is like a 7.5. But
Man, Marvel Spotlight number 28, first first solo Moon Knight. This thing sold for $3,559.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a tough book, man. I've been doing this a long time, and I've only come across 2 copies that were worth buying. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one a long time ago that was water damage, and I thought about it, and it wasn't that expensive, but I was just like, I don't think I'm even gonna care about this once I pay for it, like because of the water damage.
Yeah.
But later on, I had one that was like a 5.0, and then I flipped it and I bought the one that I have now, which is like it's probably a strong 7.5 or an 8 on a good day if I graded it. But you know, I'm happy with it. It's tough though. Those Bronze Age 30-cent variants are really tough, man.
The only one I ever had was the Eternals number 1.
Mm.
And I think I found that for like $10 somewhere.
And what's crazy is that if I find a 30-cent variant like this of any like bullshit book, I feel some kind of pleasure buying it. Like even regardless of what the price is, I'm just like you don't come across them that often at all. So
All right, what's next? All right. USA Comics number 7, cap with a classic Captain America cover.
I love it.
Okay, so this sold for $5,900. Love this.
And raw. It was not even graded.
We got a raw dogger.
That dude took a leap of faith.
Hold on. Where is this listing? Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's kind of rough. It's very rough.
Super tough book though, man. All of these are tough. This USA books, you're more likely to find Captain America comics than you are USA.
That's for sure.
I could tell you that.
Yeah, still, this thing's still beautiful.
And look at what's going on with the cover though. The cover is so fucking nice.
Mm-hmm.
That whole parachuting down, he's got Bucky on his arm. Bucky's shooting a fucking Tommy gun. It's like
I love Bucky with the Tommy gun.
That's how it should have always been. And the way he's transitioned into Winter Soldier is perfect.
Yeah.
He needed to make him a badass, not like Robin where he's just a kid, you know. You need him to be a badass. You know? Yeah. I love that version of Bucky. Yeah.
Nice strong price. Let's see. Which one would you rather have? This or the Catman?
Easily the USA.
Real okay. All right.
You know what it is because I'm so deeply involved already with Timely, Captain America books, Human Torch
Yeah.
books, that it wouldn't make sense for me to pass on that just to get. I don't have anything Catman,
Mm.
and how attainable other Catman books are is almost. I don't see them enough. It would be a waste of time for me to delve into that one right now. So USA all day.
I got you. All right. Next is Danger Girl number 3. So we got the Baroness J. Scott Campbell cover. So this thing sold for $250.
Respectable.
Yeah, sometimes this book will dip, but it doesn't
Yep.
dip that far down. But yeah,
Uh,
$250 is a nice solid price for this.
Yep.
Love it.
There's hold on, there's a variant to that, right? Isn't there like a sketch variant? It's
No,
where no? Or
not
am I
that. Yeah, because I've if it was, I definitely would have known about it.
okay.
But
Alright.
but there is, I believe, a sketch variant for number 1,
Okay.
and that doesn't go for anything.
All right.
But yeah, Danger Girl number 3. I like checking in on this, even though I don't
Yeah.
have a copy anymore. I sold it off, but I like checking in on this book.
Yeah.
Next is Green Lantern number 55, 1 in 25, Doug Mankey variant. Raw copy sold for $300. I was okay. So the most I used to see this book was like maybe 100, 150. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm out at that price.
Yeah.
It's a book I guarantee, and again, I'm very much like you. I do a lot of digging. I feel like I can still find that. So
I
it's a
know, right?
it's a Green Lantern book. It's like it's not like people are flooding the Green Lantern box. Like you can get to it and still possibly find it. So
Yeah, look at the asking prices on the
uh,
well, I mean, look at the okay, so if you're willing to spend 300 on a raw copy, why not just spend a little bit more on a 9.8? Let's see. Okay, so that's for like a lot. But yeah, this is let's see, variant. Vareant. Uh yeah, 400 for a 9.6. Just spend like $100 more.
yeah, I would probably be in the market for a 9.8 if it's only $100 difference.
If I had seen this sale, I would have put this on. I found this book the other day. I actually talked about this in my latest haul video. So second print variant. Let me see what this
Yeah,
thing. I want to see what this sold for. Hold on. If that's the actual price. Because I know these things, because the one that I found was in a really nice high grade. So
yeah, I think the one I have is really high grade. It's not a 9.8, but it's probably like a 9.4, 9.6 raw copy.
okay, so this is it. So it sold for what, $42? Okay. All right, not mad at it. And you have to make the distinction because there is a DCU variant for
Of
this.
first print.
Yep, and it is a
Yeah.
first print, and it doesn't have the Roman numeral. I
Yeah.
literally just talked about this book on the haul video.
Yep.
Nice. I'm not mad at that. Okay. Next is New Mutants number 94. No, blah, 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 blah. New Mutants number 98, CGC 9.4, newsstand, Mark Jewelers. Oh, wow. Mark Jewelers sold for $850. Do you like this price?
Yes, that's cheap.
That's
It
a
is
good
cheap.
price, man.
That is
Shoot.
way fucking low, man. It really
Wow.
is. I have a Mark Jewelers of this,
Mhm.
and mine, and it's slabbed, and it's right behind me over there somewhere. And I think I bought mine for, I want to say $450, and it's a 7.5.
Okay.
And it has potential to be pressed, but to be a 7.5, maybe to an 8.0. But so I wouldn't even bother cracking it. But this is a really good price for a 9.4.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay, so if you had seen it for that full grand for starting asking price, would you have
If I was at a show and a dealer had that priced at 1,000 in a 9.4, exactly the way you see it, custom label
Yeah.
and all, I would definitely say, can I see that? And then I would say, what's the best you can do? And if he says not much, and then I would say, well, not much means there's something. So if I can get it for 9, I would pay 9. But if he sperm at 1,000, I'd probably still try to buy it at 1,000. I
I got
love
you.
the fact, I love this Mark Jewelers booking of Mark Jewelers. I really do.
Yeah, because this is like one of the this is like that last hurrah of Mark Jewelers.
Well, it's not
You know,
just
that that
that.
that last time period.
It is I guess we can call this a Copper Age book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not really a modern anymore. It's a Copper Age book, but it is the grail of Copper Age books. So whether I don't give a shit what people say how many are printed. Anytime I have this book, and it doesn't matter what condition or which version of it, whether it's direct or newsstand, they
Yeah.
fucking sell. Every doesn't matter what show I'm doing, how small or big it is, they always sell. All right. And there's never a time I've had it on the wall and at least 4 or 5 people don't ask if they can see it or what's the price. So it is a Copper Age grail. And if you can find the rarest version of it, which would be a Mark Jewelers, because there's not too many other ways you can go. There's newsstand, direct, Mark Jewelers, and what the foreign price variant, which is what, Canadian? I think.
Oh, you got the Australian version.
Yeah, I was thinking of that then. It was I know there's a price variant of it that's super 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 tough, and it would be in probably the 2 or 3 thousands if it was a 9.4. So it is probably the toughest one. But I'm just saying, if you can get the rarest version of it, that's for that price for 1,000 in a 9.4. That's a home run.
Okay, so the last zoom in, if you can see. Okay, the last known Mark Jewelers variants were published June 1991. Examples include Sleepwalker #1. So the New Mutants 98 is definitely one of the last Mark
Mm-hmm.
Jewelers out there. So
Right.
yeah, and it's like basically marks the end of an era right there.
Right. Yep.
Love it. All right, Crime Smashers #7, Golden Age Bondage. So this sold for $120. Oh, Three Rivers Comics. Hey, you made the you made Hot Book Alert live again. I see you. To me, that's a really good price for that though. I'm not mad at it. It's like a VG copy.
I was gonna say that's cheap. I'd buy that all day at $120.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's a super cool cover. I mean, it's a bondage cover.
Yeah.
There's a few things going on there.
I'm not mad at this. Do I have the listing? No, I don't have the listing. But yeah, it was a VG copy. And we have another another DCU variant. Man of Steel, Superman Man of Steel 20, second print. This thing sold for 180.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yeah. Those second print DCUs, it doesn't matter what book it is or what's going on it. If you can find a second print DCU, grab it. It is a super, super great piece, especially if it's in really good shape,
Mhm. This is one I never see. For good reason.
But believe it or not, what are you talking about? The DCU or this one?
Yeah, this one right here. This one exactly.
Right.
Always tough to find.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got 2 copies of Gen 13 that sold this week. We have CGC 9.8 that sold for 600, and then you had this raw copy that sold just yesterday for 100. I like this book. I remember when this was like a $20 book a few years ago. So this is the Bruce Timm variant.
I was gonna say longer than a few years ago, because a few years ago it was still like an $80 book. And it was crazy tough to find. It just
when was this? Before COVID, this was like a $20 book.
Yeah, definitely before COVID. Definitely. Yeah.
And then it just and then we had the Bruce Timm explosion, right?
Yep.
And then everybody started catching on. And this book is getting stronger and stronger.
This is a badass cover though.
I love it.
And
I
it
love
fools
it.
you into thinking it's a wraparound.
Ah,
I own 2 copies of this book, and I think before I owned the first one, the first time I ever picked it up, the first thing I did was take it out the bag and turn it
yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah,
Because I'm
yeah,
like, this is a wraparound.
yeah. I think I've got 2 copies, and they're staying in the collection.
Yeah. I have to. I was gonna just keep the higher grade and then flip the other one. I brought the other one to a comic show and
Hmm.
I put it in the box to go on the wall.
Yeah,
And then at the show, I quickly threw it back into a box like under the table. I was like, fuck this, I'm not selling it.
I know, right?
I can't do it. It just, there's no amount, like for what I would sell it for because of the condition, because it does have some spine ticks on it. But
Uh-huh.
even with the spine ticks, I'm like, I'm not selling this shit for $60. That's just not happening. I keep it.
All right. All right. Next, Hellboy: The Fury, number 3. This is a Virgin cover. We talked about this on Hot Book Alert Live before. I think a 9.8, however many months ago, sold for $1,000, right? And you got this raw copy that sold for $770 after 27 bids. Very, to me, very impressive. This is, I don't know, it's just like these certain Hellboys that just go for like crazy amounts, just like
Yeah.
Invincible. You know what I mean?
Yep. And you would don't see it coming. You know what I mean? It's when you do show these books, you and Ben, long story short, when I see this pop up on the show, I'm like, how? Like, but apparently there's a strong following for Hellboy still. So
Hmm. Go figure. All right, next, another strong sale. Blue Beetle number 57, CGC 8.5, sold for $2,375. 8.5.
that's a hell of a grade and it's a hell of a price.
Does that seem low to you, or
Um,
no?
I'm gonna be honest. First of all, I don't own anything Blue Beetle.
Uh-huh.
It's a super cool cover though, and like I said, Golden Age is ridiculously tough to find. Like I told you, anything over probably a 6 or going into a 7 is like to me super high grade for a Golden Age book.
Yeah.
So an 8.5 is crazy, and Blue Beetle's obviously somebody. You know what I mean? It's not like he's some Catman. He's still involved in the comic universe. So
Hmm.
the Golden Age, it does seem kind of low for what it is, 1948
Yeah,
Golden
man.
Age. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about that. It just seems really
Yeah.
low. All right. Look at this. Batman number 5, old label,
Yeah.
sold for $15,899. This is another book that, like, I mean, a lot of these books should have like wound up on Heritage, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm shocked because it's a pedigree and it's an 8.5 of just a legendary. I mean, it's a number 5.
Hmm.
It should have gone to, but then again, I don't know I can't see who the seller is, but I'm just wondering why it didn't go to a place like Heritage. If you own that kind of a book, how do you not think of that first?
I know.
That's
Let's see.
that's that's where you need the powers of all the collectors in the world to bid on that. Not just eBay.
I mean, it seems like he knows what he's doing because he's selling comics as well.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It almost looks like a good deal. Meaning for both parties. I'm sure whoever sold it. Why would they auction it if they weren't into it for much lower than that? You know.
Hmm.
I would never auction that book. It would be this is the price, and I'd put a best offer so I can hear somebody's thoughts on it, but I would never auction a book like that unless I'm on a platform like Heritage where I know I'm getting really high rollers, into that book. eBay is such a hit and miss uh situation. You can get screwed really hard on eBay.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Old label too.
God forbid something happens in this world while an eBay auction is going on, and
Oh,
everybody's focused on world news, and they're not paying attention to the last day of the sale.
imagine you have like the hottest item in the world, and like
Right.
a couple seconds in
Yeah.
it, like where everybody snipes, the blip happens.
You got a question in your chat.
uh,
Lucky Straight.
would you venture into Poke? Oh God, no way, absolutely. I don't know anything about Pokemon, and I don't want to know anything. I listen. I appreciate the fandom. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just I can't. I'm serving too many masters already.
You still do VHS tapes?
Yeah, but
Oof.
it's like
I
I'm
noticed.
not searching. Because here's the thing: when I was hot and heavy with the VHS, like I would do a constant refresh, constant
Right.
refresh, like on the eBay search,
Right.
constant. I was like a slave to my computer because I was just like
Right.
stuck on my screen. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm just kind of like it took everything in me to break away from it,
Yeah.
and I kind of don't want to go back to that. So
Check that out.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's how you should start doing tapes. Like start with the movies that you love.
That's exactly why I bought this.
Yeah.
This is a time in my life where I was like just old enough to go see this in the movie theater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on my own, and then when this did come out on VHS tape, go to Blockbuster and wait on fucking line to rent it and watch it
Mm-hmm.
again. And when I started watching you guys covering, I'm talking about you and who's the dude that used to be on Flipside that went off to do VHS tapes?
Oh, so you got
The lawyer guy.
yeah, George or
No,
Nico.
not Nico, that guy.
Yeah, that's his name.
I started watching, I guess, his shows, and I think you were kind of tuning into that, and you were like a
Yeah.
beginner on that. And when I started watching that, I said, well, I'm not going to go into hardcore collecting because when you start hearing some of the prices that stuff goes for, but I will get all of my favorite movies. I will eventually own Terminator, Jaws, Star Wars, like all of the legendary movies from my childhood, and that's it. I'm not going to go any further than that.
I hear you.
So, but I do have a deep collection only because a friend of mine, I went to his store opening.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of Little Giants comics. They're in New Hampshire. Jason Brodnick, he owns it. Super, he's like one of the greatest guys on the planet. And if you're in New Hampshire, if you don't go check out this guy's store and go make a purchase, you're crazy. He is the best in the game. And he had a store opening, and I went in, I drove from New York to New Hampshire more because he's a friend, not because I was trying to go, shopping because I have plenty of places in New York to go.
Yeah.
But he's a friend, and I wanted to support him on his store opening. So I drove. I think that was about almost 3 hours of a drive, and but it was worth it because I think I dropped somewhere around $3,000 before, in the store that day.
Damn.
I had to make it worthwhile because I drove 3 hours. So fuck it.
Hell yeah.
But he had somebody must have sold him a sealed VHS collection, and he just had it priced like to go. And I bought Top Gun. Like I just bought so many movies, and now I'm considering should I send them to get graded because I've never sent anything to get graded VHS wise. I don't know where to begin with
Well,
that. I
I'll
don't
put
know.
it to you like this.
Oh.
CGC makes it very easy.
CGC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not these other companies like
IGS is out of business.
All right, I didn't know that. I just saw this
Yeah.
for a good deal, and I love the price, and I love the,
Yeah, if you already, because I got to imagine you already have a CGC account, right?
No. What do you mean, like so for submissions and stuff?
Yeah.
To do under my own name? No, I submit strictly through my LCS.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even then, they make it very easy to submit.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Okay.
So,
yeah. All right. Next is, bring back tape heads. Listen, I would do tape head. I loved doing tape heads. That was so much fun. Like the guys that I did the show with, like Pablo,
Yeah,
especially, and oh my god, freaking
that was
Mikey.
that was a cool show, man. I was watching that for a while, and
Yeah,
you guys were like messing with my head because they made me want to start getting more involved in it. But then I said, I have to draw a line. I have to say only a movie that I really, really give a shit about, and it brings me back to a special time in my
yeah,
life. You know what I mean? I can't go into just these guys had fucking rooms full of VH tapes. You know, I
yeah.
just couldn't do it.
So you had Mikey,
Hmm.
Danny, LA Kid Collectibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, Mikey. Oh, I miss him. Rest in peace, Mikey. Because oh, and Dark Nostalgic Video. Like those two. Like I was always excited when they would join the show because they knew
Mm.
a lot.
Mm.
They knew a lot. So yeah. But yeah, I would do tape eds again for sure. All right. Look at this. But unfortunately everybody's just kind of like doing their own thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and freaking Juke Maya. She- love doing the show with her. But she's doing other stuff now.
That's the really cute girl that had the little
Yeah.
mouse ears
Yeah.
for her headset.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She actually works at Nico's law firm. So that's what she's been doing. For
She knew
it
she knew her
well,
shit though.
mhm.
I enjoyed her take on the hobby.
Yeah. Like everybody was just like amazing. And I learned so much from everybody on the show.
Yeah.
All right. What are we talking about?
Hulk number
Look,
one.
yeah, Hulk number 1. Look at this.
Yeah.
5.5 sold for 20. What is it? 28,500. Look at that.
It's crazy. And then when people ask me why I haven't upgraded my 1.0, this is the exact reason why.
Look at
There
that.
is no cheap price for a Hulk 1 in any grade.
Yeah, so like these two should be on Heritage, but I know what you mean about like auctions and stuff like that, but
Let me
damn.
ask you a question now that we're talking about this book, and it's not gonna go into a long thing. It's just
Sure.
I was at a comic show called Elite last year, and there was a guy that had a Hulk 1 in a 50 purple label.
Yeah.
I could have got that book for $6,000 cash.
Okay.
I want to say the restoration was some color touch, maybe pieces added, and maybe a slight trimming. But I'm saying if you're thinking 5.0, $6,000, could you live with that? I know you're a guy who doesn't like restoration at all,
Yeah.
but considering the grade
Oh.
and the book, for $6,000.
You know what? If it were way older, like say first Robin or Batman or
Hmm.
Action Comics, I'd
You
go,
don't
yeah.
you don't like Hulk 1? You don't put it in that category? You got to think
Not
about what it is. It only lasted 6 fucking issues, and after that, we didn't have Hulk anymore until Tales of the Astonished. It's like it's like
it's
like Robin
okay.
went on forever after his first appearance. He went on forever
But
after
I'm
that.
talking about just as far as age goes.
The age of the book. Okay.
Yeah. If we're going
Yeah.
if we're going a little bit farther back into time,
Right.
I could accept the purple label. But
Right.
this one, as far as a Hulk goes, it's like a little bit too relatively speaking, a little bit too recent. You know what I mean? Because Silver Age, I mean, there's still copies of Silver Age. You know what I
Yeah, but are
mean?
you really stumbling on a Hulk 1 in mid grade that's not restored? Or even restored? I'm just saying, are you finding them out there? I don't see them.
I'll find one
When
one
when somebody whips out a Hulk 1 on me, I start thinking crazy.
day.
I start thinking crazy things like, do I have time to run to the bank? That's the first thing I say. So,
But I understand what you're saying though.
yeah.
But here's the thing: I'd probably have to like really look at it and think about it. But off the top of my head, I would say probably not. But
Hmm.
if I'm in that situation and I'm looking at it, I probably just wouldn't say. I would have to think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Movie posters, love movie posters. I got a Goonies back there. I have it flipped around because I don't want the sunlight to hit it. But I got a Goonies, and I've got I've got original Blade Runner poster. Um, what the hell else?
I have two super cool original posters that are still in the tube, but they're original from the theater. One is Aliens, Part Two, when it was
Mhm.
Aliens, which is, I think it's just in space nobody hears you scream or something. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
first. That was the first one. What was the theme on Aliens 2? What was it, still the embryo egg on the movie poster, or was it something else?
I think it was the egg. I want to say the egg.
All right, well, I have that movie poster where it's Aliens with an S, and then I have Howard the Duck, which is like crazy cool, you know. But I bought a guy's out of a garage sale. Apparently somebody in his family worked in the movie theaters, and he had something like I don't know, something like 50 posters rolled up into this one of his mega tubes. Um, so
Let me see. I know I've got.
it, there's another one in there. What's the movie with the little fuzzball with all the billions of teeth? It's like it's a horror movie, like almost like Gremlins, but it's like a round fuzzy creature with just a billion teeth in its mouth. Goon, not Goon,
Oh, Critters.
Critters. Yeah, that poster is in
Yeah,
that too. But I was never a Critters guy, so I guess for me it's not a big thing, but somebody else might love it.
I love Critters.
But yeah, there's somewhere around, I want to say 30 to 40 posters in this tube. I got to open it up one day and see what's good in there besides Aliens and Howard the Duck and Critters. I think there's a Pet Cemetery one in there. So
I'm
some
trying
other
to show. I'm trying to show the. Darn it! Hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can. I was trying to show the poster for whatchamacallit.
for Aliens. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna do
No,
it.
because I remember the first movie, it was Nobody Hears You Hears Your Screams in Space, I think was like the theme on the poster. And
Yeah.
then it was like that green light that was kind of splitting out of an egg, and you didn't really know what the fuck that was. You know, like I don't know what Aliens 2 was. I know it just said Aliens with an S, but I don't remember what was the promotion poster like. What did it look like?
So I got
I
this.
would,
So
I
I
w-
got this.
yeah, that's awesome. That's super legend. I love that movie Blade Runner.
So I have
Uh,
that and the.
That's cool.
A lot of people have seen the Goonies poster, but yeah, I love
Good.
like where I can find because there was this store that me and Mike used to go to,
Mhm,
and they used to sell, and it was like an antique store, and they sold like a
mhm,
ton of posters and comics. But
mhm,
it seems like they got rid of them because I hadn't been there in like a year, and then I go back over the summer,
mhm.
and like all that shit is gone.
Yeah,
It's so disappointing.
when I bought this tube was like, it had to be about this fucking wide, and it's the length of, I guess, when you roll up movie
Yeah,
posters, the width or whatever. And then when I went into the sale, the guy was saying there was he
keep
estimated
talking.
there
I'm
was,
listening.
yeah, there was somewhere around 40 or so posters in there. And I just remember when I opened to look, and I kind of like, I didn't want to open them up because I thought I was gonna have trouble putting them back in. But I do remember the Howard the Duck was like the first one on the inside of the roll. And once I saw that and then the price, I was like, fuck it, I'll take them. And then when I got home, I think I opened up the whole roll, and I remember seeing Aliens, Howard the Duck, Critters, and a couple other good movies. And then but there were so many. But I really should open them up and maybe get somebody who collects posters to take a peek at them. Maybe
Oh, hell yeah.
there's somewhere some good money there. I don't know.
Speaking of critters, here we go. I got a sealed critters.
Oh,
I got a sealed critters, and it has
that's the first movie, right?
Yep. And it's got the watermarks on the back, on the
Okay.
side. It's got the watermarks. So this is still sealed.
Mm.
And then we got a Karate Kid. Karate Kid
cool.
with the watermarks on the back.
Yeah, that's one that I wouldn't mind having.
And
That's a movie. Yeah.
Nice 6-sided box. And I got a Terminator. This is not the first. This isn't a first release Terminator, but
right.
It's like the second. I think this is like the second release Terminator, and you got the HBO watermarks.
The pricing off the top of your head on a second release, the one that you have in your hand, what would that typically sell for a second release?
You know what?
Let's
it's
say
so
auction.
It's so tough to come across. I couldn't even tell you, because as far as these tapes go, you can't even price these freaking things, man. You can't even price them because they don't come around that often. You can't even comp these. They're so tough.
Okay.
It's such a pain, and that's why I kind of like pull back. Now I haven't stopped buying tapes, but as far as just like going crazy with it, not so much.
All right.
All right. Oh, add stage. Okay.
Yeah. Next week I'll have my sealed VHS tapes like right next to me, so I can show you a few real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll talk about what Batman, Deadpool, or Deadpool, Batman. Did you read that at all?
I didn't read it, but I did buy a few covers just because.
Which covers did you get?
I definitely bought Scotty Young. I got the Infinity Gauntlet cover. I ordered a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, which has Deadpool doing the Wolverine with the blades, like you see Batman in the reflection. There's a Sienkiewicz variant. I don't know. Did I get any others? I didn't want to go too crazy with it because it seemed and I got that one. The J. Scott Campbell with Psylocke and somebody else fighting on the cover. Because you can never really go wrong with J. Scott Campbell, you know.
Is this a one shot or a series?
I think it's going to be a series because it's supposed to be multiple battles between. Somebody was telling me that did read it, that there's a bunch of short stories inside, which it's almost like, remember Contest of Champions?
Yeah.
In Marvel? It's like that, where they're all kind of like fighting each other and they're supposed to be leveling up, or there's supposed to be a goal, I guess, at some point. So, wherever the whole reason why they're fighting, but. I know we mentioned this on Beyond Wednesdays, and the big question was, why did they, if it's all of those different heroes fighting in multiple stories inside the book, why did they call it Deadpool and Batman? And I just said, well, it's marketing.
Right. It like Marvel DC wouldn't probably.
I'm just saying it's cool, but it's flat. You know what I mean? But Deadpool is an attraction, and then Batman is an attraction. You know, it's probably the bigger sellers from both sides of the spectrum. Yep. So why not throw it on the cover, you know? So.
All right. What's next? What are we talking about next? Oh, look at this. This sale tripped me out. Look at this. A PGX 98 for a Spawn 221. So for $1,260. 12, yeah, no.
I couldn't.
No,
I'm
sorry.
Never.
1126.
It doesn't even matter which way you said that. That price for a PGX, I cannot do a PGX. Nothing personal. Like I said, there might be people out there that love PGX. I couldn't do it.
Man, that I saw this. I think this just sold today. I was just like, I got to put this on. Sold for 1126 after 37 bids. That's wild, man.
The only way the only time I've ever bought PGX is I had to see the book, the slab in hand, because I have to inspect the book inside, thinking if I crack this and resubmit it, am I going to still be in the ballpark of that grade? Meaning, if it's a somewhat of a copper or modern age book, I still need to be at a 9.8. I can't submit it to CGC and then get a 9.4 or 9.6, because now to me it's just garbage, you know. But
Yes.
I couldn't pull the trigger at that price for PGX. I just couldn't.
I 1000% agree with that.
It's,
Rick and Morty #1 CGC 9.8 1 in 50 variant. This book is still going strong. I'm surprised.
I don't collect anything Rick and Morty. I don't know enough
Yeah.
about it to see that 1,000 is good or bad. So I don't know.
Next is Mark Spears Monsters #1, the Dracula variant. Sold for $200. I'm not mad at it.
No, that's actually a fantastic deal, only if the condition, because this is a black cover, and if there's any kind of ding on the corners or trust me, I've looked at maybe 30 different copies of this book for a variation of prices, and I've passed on every single one of them because there's been something. So
Yep.
$200 still is a good price if it doesn't have any serious problems. So.
All right, we're in the pulp hour. Okay, so we've got Eerie Stories, August 1937. Look at this cover.
That's a great cover.
$385. I love this, man.
I love everything about this cover. I love the title, Eerie Stories. I love everything. The art, the woman, the fact that it's 1937 and still looks that good.
Exactly. Let's see. Do I have the listing for this? What the I thought I had this. No, I guess not. But I don't know if I have time to really look it up or not, but good looking book. EERIESTRIES 1937. Okay, here we go. All the copies that are available for this are all reprints.
So it must be a really tough book then. And this is #1 issue too. So I just caught that. It's #1. Which makes it even more attractive for that price.
Look at that. Ooh, baby. Yeah, I love the fact that it's 1937. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. This thing is kind of rough. You see, like, you got the tape, you got pieces missing. There's tape on the spine. Wow.
Which leads you to believe that if they didn't have tape, the cover would be detached, at least in the back. Yeah.
This thing probably could have went for a lot more. Wow, look at this. Wow. Mama.
Now imagine this book in a CGC slab, and if it graded, I don't know, 4. It would be in the thousands easily.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'm gonna give this to Ben for a long story short.
Yeah, but Carter, look at this cover. Everything is perfect with this cover. The backdrop of the color of the trade, the 15-cent price tag is prominent. The bondage, the girl, the guy, about what is he gonna do? Beat her with a pipe?
He's lighting. Okay, he's lighting.
Oh, he's gonna torture her.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wow. That's a sick cover, man.
Yeah, everything about this is like really perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect.
Damn, I like this a lot. All right, next is Fantastic Story Fall 1954 robot cover, a CGC 5.5, sold for $800.
Can you see who the artist is on that cover? There's got to be a reason why that's $800. It's not
let me see.
I want to say that's because there's a couple of relevant artists that were doing those books. I have a bunch of them. But Schomburg was the guy who did a lot of those covers back in the 1950s. I'm not saying that's a Schomburg cover, but it can't be just because it's a robot cover that it sold for $800.
Jack Coggins,
Jack Coggins. He's the cover.
cover artist. Yep.
Jack Coggins. I don't know the name. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Is that the? I'm not sure, but doesn't that look like where the theme of I'm not saying that this was used for it, but Back to the Future. Remember that he whipped
Yeah,
out a
yeah,
Golden
yeah, yeah,
Age
yeah.
book from that something from that era that looked kind of like this, where it was a guy with a helmet and
Yeah,
he. I'm not saying it is because
but
there's a
it
different
looks
book.
like it. Yeah.
It does look. I'm wondering if it's multiple reasons why, but.
Wasn't Back to the Future.
No, I'm not saying it was, but because I don't know, but it does look like it. Is this the one?
No, he's saying in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But it does look like that reference they use where the kid thought it was an alien because he had a Golden Age book that had a guy that looked like Michael J. Fox. That's cool though. I mean, but it's not $800 cool for me. So
Pulp, that was in Back to the Future. Oh, I guess this is it. Back to the Future. Oh,
it is.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's why then. See, I was looking at it saying it looks just like the kid's book that he saw the cover and then he saw Michael J. Fox get out of the DeLorean and
Yeah.
he looked somewhat like that with that Tyvek suit he was wearing, that plutonium Tyvek suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
funny.
cool. That's cool that I can bring that up from memory like that because yeah.
That's funny. All right.
But hold on. But now is it $800 cool though because of that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now I get it now. Yeah.
1000%.
I'm probably into it then. Yeah, that's cool. All right.
I thought just because it was a robot cover, but no, it's got even more to it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Startling Stories, 1948, September 1948. So this sold for $340. Okay. Do I have the listing for this? I just want to take a quick look at this. Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Oh no, I don't think so. But it's got a hot chick on the cover. So, it sold for $340. All right. Here's a couple of first appearances here, which I thought was interesting. So you got Science Fantasy from 1961. All right. So this is the first Elric first appearance of Elric. Okay. You ever heard of that character?
Yeah, wasn't he didn't Epic Comics pick that up in like the 80s and made not Epic but he was used again. The character's been reused again, I think, in the I want to say the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
And I think it was like one of these, it first started with like Pacific Comics or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just figured it's kind of tough to pin down like the characters like this in their first appearances, but yeah. Elric.
Yeah. He's been revised again and again during different decades, and he's like a fantasy type of
Mm-hmm. So
character.
yeah, it's interesting to see that his first appearance, much like Conan, started in the
In the pulps. Yeah.
Yep. This is pretty cool. I'm not mad at this. And it sold for $350. To me, I don't know. That looks like a damn good price.
Yeah, considering that it links to later on being reused as a character, very much not as popular, obviously, as Conan, but
Mm-hmm.
or Buck Rogers or anything like that, but still very cool.
Science Fantasy Moorcock. I don't know if we can, if we'll find any Science Fantasy What did I say? 1961. Let's see. Oh wow! Oh wow! Look at these prices. You see these? Let's see. I'm gonna zoom in. Look at that.
Oof. Yeah.
People want like $2,000. Oh wow! So that guy got an amazing. Whoever bought that got an amazing price.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
much like Conan. Sweet. And another first appearance, White Wolf. Shadow September 15th, 1939, first appearance of Shiwan Khan. This sold for $255. This is like the coolest cover to me. I don't know why. I just
it
love
is.
this is amazing.
He almost reminds me of the Mandarin from Iron Man.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got to imagine that's where they got that from. The
Because
Mandarin.
I think in his first appearance, he was sitting in a throne, not as nice as this, but he's
Mhm.
sitting in a throne with all his rings on, and he's like, I think he's shooting a laser, something from his rings at Iron Man or something. But this is kind of a really cool pulp cover with the shadow of the shadow.
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah, that is really cool.
Like if this were on Oh my god, if this were on a comic book, forget about it.
Yeah,
This is to me one of the best like first appearance covers.
for that era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
for a pulp and a relevant shadow book.
Mhm.
That is a super cool first appearance cover.
I'm with this.
Yep.
It ain't even got a chick on it, and I love it. Go figure. All right. Oh, Startling Stories. This is a book I have actually. March 1950. You got the Good Girl art,
I
Witch.
I lost that auction. I was bidding on that one.
Really?
Uh,
Oh
I
man.
had the reason why I didn't go higher because if you look at some of the other pictures, the condition was a little too much for me. There
I
was
got you.
too many problems, but it's still such a cool cover though, man.
I'm glad it's coming into its own.
Yeah. I might have been second highest bidder maybe on that or third,
Mhm.
but I think I threw in the towel somewhere just over 100. But
I got you.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm really glad this book is starting to like climb up in value. Love it.
Yep.
All right. Oh, take a look at this. Look at this. So this is original art that was featured in a pulp. So do I have it? VGT. I just thought this was really cool. So you got a say illustration. Look at that.
1965.
And here's the actual page. She
That's
must have.
really yeah, she's topless because they blurred out the
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
so it's like a risque, which I'm sure adds value to the original art.
Oh my god! It only sold for $600. That shadow cover looks modern. Yes, it does. It really does. Yeah, I agree
Or
with
it,
that.
or it looks like something you can do modern easily without anybody saying that looks dated. It doesn't look
Hmm.
dated. That
Nope.
was definitely way ahead of the game, whoever did that.
Yeah, like even if you go back, like the expression on Shibu Khan, it has that like that smirk that you see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
But everything
totally
is
agree.
perfect with that. The colors,
Hmm.
the way they did the trade, and then having a character named the Shadow, and you just feature a shadow of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That original art you were showing, I don't know if you're familiar with that artist that we love talking about lately, Suspiria.
Yeah.
She has that kind of a feel when you look at that original art. Not talking about the shadow, I'm talking about the
Hmm.
this pulp original art. Or that's not really pulp, that's 1965, but But when I look at that, I think of her art, because you have to look at her art to kind of be able to see some comparisons there.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, I have to get in. I have to own something of hers original, and I'm not talking about commission. I want something that was published. I see that she's always putting up her original art. So
what's her name again?
Suspiria Vilches. I believe she's Spaniard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's a super talent, bro. She's very, very talented. And she's a really sweet person. Like, I think Brian had her on the show, and I listened to the interview, and she's everything you would want in somebody that you would choose to be a fan of or collect.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, if you look at some of her work with like women and stuff, and then you see that original art from the 60s, she has that that feeling to her, some of her art, when you know.
Yeah, I see it. It's like that sketchy quality to it.
Yeah.
All right. Proper slideshow. Venus number 15 from 1951. Bill Everett cover. All right. So 29. I've never noticed this cover before.
Somebody, I feel like I've seen it before.
I could have swore I've noticed all the Venus covers, but there's something about this one. It just feels like very fresh,
Right.
as if I've never seen it before. But 29 total on the census, with the highest being an 8.5. All right, so we had a raw. Look at this raw copy for Venus, sold for $2,000. That's amazing.
Yeah. Bill
do I-
Everett cover.
Do I have a listing? Yeah, I do. Hold on. I want to take a look at this really quick. Look at that.
Says glossy cover.
I mean, it's a really good cover, though.
Yep. It looks solid. The interior is a little, I mean, that's not off-white. We would call that tan pages.
Sun shading.
No, I'm talking about the interior. It's like
the interior.
The interior is like browning a bit, so that would be
Oh
like
yeah,
cream
definitely.
cream to off-white. Yeah. Then you have that thing you said, the sunburning on the back cover. But overall, the front cover still looks great, though.
Yeah, still sold for $2,000.
Yep.
600 best Transformers OA cover, just nuts. All right, but I like this cover a lot. I can't see paying $2,000 for it, but I pay at least half that. All right, Thunder number 1 from 1951, Frank Frazetta cover.
I would have never known.
I know, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
so used to to seeing the sci-fi or the fantasy, barbarian stuff. I would never know this was him unless his name was prominent somewhere on the cover, like a signature.
It would have been interesting to see Frazetta do like Captain America or like Human Torch. You like those Marvel, hell, even Superman. I'm surprised he's had never done Superman or Batman or anything like that.
I feel like if he did, he would have a little bit of a Juiceco mixed with Neil Adams if he did that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, some of his, I've seen boatloads of his art. And I think if you slap, a superhero costume on them, I think you would find a little bit of a Juiceco mixed with like Neil Adams in there.
Yeah, because he did the Golden Age Ghost Rider, so he wasn't adverse to superhero, like
right,
the superhero genre.
The Golden Age Ghost Rider is like he's Western,
yeah, but he's got like the costume and the cape, and shit like that.
I think the closest he came to anything somewhat like a superhero would be, like you say, Ghost Rider, or I think he did a lot of Buck Rogers stuff.
Yeah.
So
would have been interesting. It would have been interesting to see him do Golden Age like Marvel, DC superheroes.
And he did a lot of Tarzan stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Conan, Tarzan. Yeah.
All right, look at this. 145 total on the census, with the highest being a 9.6. All right, so we had a CGC 8.0 that sold for $3,780 after 2 bids.
Seems cheap. Only because we know it's Frazetta. It's a number one issue.
Yep. Let's see.
And the cover is sick because there's a lot going on in that cover.
There's a hell of a whole lot. This is a.
He's got a chick with a tremendous side boobage going on. He's got.
This is a black fatigue cover.
Oh my God. This guy's defying everything. He's got a spear is about to get plunged through him.
Oh, so look at that Frazetta right on the cover. Look at that.
Where is this? Yeah, I'm saying, but I would have to see that to know. Okay, that's a Frazetta cover. I wouldn't know that's a Frazetta cover unless it's signed or somebody told me that's Frazetta.
You see the signature right there?
Yeah, I see it, and it almost blends in with the leaves and the what is that, like the grain, the grass, but yeah.
But yeah, this is great.
It's cool, but it seems cheap for what it is, though.
Magazine Enterprises. I love Magazine Enterprises comics. Love them. Only comic drawn entire. Oh wow. Oh, okay. This means something. Only comic drawn entirely by Frank Frazetta.
Wouldn't have known that either.
Okay.
So that's cover and everything inside.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, I think this might be a deal. I don't know if that's the case.
It's definitely a deal. Like I said, even before knowing that, it's definitely a deal.
Yeah, the deal is out of fucks to give. Yeah.
Well, he's fucked. He's not gonna make it.
Oh, hold on. Okay, next is Captain America Comics number 11 from 1942. Where he's taking so we go from Nazis to hillbillies, mountain men, moonshiners. He's taking is Captain America taking on moonshiners? What's going mountain moonshiners? That's what he's taking on.
What's weird about that? It's 1942. They were still in war, so why is he?
Yeah. What are you doing? What is a sleeper cell or something? 9.6 total on the census. No, I'm sorry, 89 total with 9.6. And Captain Anorexia. Yeah, he's looking a little thin. He is looking a little thin. Look at this old label CGC 6.5 sold for $4,250. All right, which one you like better? Cap or Thunder? Which one you like better?
Only because the way I collect, Captain America all day.
Okay.
I don't have enough of Frazetta stuff to care more about that.
But look at this old label, man.
I love Captain America comics. I've got a bunch of them. But like I said, I was buying them well before, they became, $2,000 books.
Thunder just for the woman.
Yeah, my earliest one is number 7. So number 11 is if I got that money to spend, I'm grabbing that all day.
I got you. Yeah. Cap versus Hatfields and McCoy. Yeah, that's what it looks like, man. This just looks so out of place for the time period.
It is a distraction that he's fighting them out of the other possibilities where he could be. You really want to see him fighting Nazis and shit, but it's a number 11 still. So.
Yeah, this is a great cover. I mean, overall, it's a little great cover, but it's just funny.
I guess the more important question is: are they German mountain men?
Right. All right, next we're in the modern age. Danger
What a
Girl
cover.
Revolver #1. So this is a J. Scott Campbell Jetpack Comics Virgin variant. I like this.
Yep.
I
Checks
like
all the
this.
boxes. Oh yeah.
All right. So this is from 2011, mind you. To me, this is the time period that's like the sweet spot for J. Scott Campbell.
Right.
From like, I want to say like probably 2000 for me personally, 2009 to like probably 2012 is like the sweet spot for J. Scott Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got 158 total on the census. So we got 2 10s, 2 CGC 10s, 7 9.9s, and then we got a signature series 10, signatures in 2 signature series 9.9s, which is it. That's interesting though. That's pretty interesting. And however, in a lot of 9.8s, majority of them are 9.8s.
Right.
And okay, so we had this raw copy that sold for $129. And not too much to say about it really, but I just thought it was a good cover. And it's definitely going on the thumbnail for this video.
Yeah, that's definitely not out of the question at that price. That seems still really good for what it is, you know.
And this was 2011, and like in this, so this apparently this is a store variant, so they would have put like their ugly logo like somewhere on the cover, and they didn't do that.
Yep, thank God, because you don't need anything on that cover besides them, his little signature in the bottom corner, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You can put whatever the fuck you want on the back cover.
Hell yeah. All right, Warhammer 40K Convention Special #1 from 2006. So this is a San Diego Comic-Con promo giveaway. Look at this. Only one on the census.
I'm assuming Warhammer is a video game?
Yeah, it's like a,
Okay.
I guess I don't know what the hell it is. I think it's like I don't know what it is.
Well, I'm just guessing it's a video game.
Yeah, it's definitely a video game.
Definitely.
But I'm not sure if it's like real-time strategy or role playing or, you know what I mean?
Well, somebody in the chat probably knows. I don't know.
Yeah, I know they know. But yeah, it's definitely a video game though. But so this promo copy, this raw copy for the promo, Warhammer is space marines who kill aliens for their religion. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. And the cross in the background looks like the Canadian flag, maple leaf.
He says Warhammer is space marines who kill aliens for their religion.
Yeah, so 40K means it's 40,000 year 40,000, right?
Right. And it started off as a miniature game, a tabletop game, which means it was like a board game type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, this sold for $149. Doesn't show up. I've never seen this before, so.
Interesting.
All right. And this is one of my favorite covers, even though I don't have it anymore. I think I've come across like 2 copies of this. And if I ever come across another one, I'm keeping it in the collection. But Wonder Woman 614 1 in 10 Alex Garner variant from 2011.
Very cool cover.
Yeah, man. I remember coming across this. I think I found it for cover price. And just going, oh, and even back then, it was like, God, I want to say like around 2013 when I first saw this book. And even then, it was like a $20 book. You know what I mean? Like it was in demand. But so okay, probably a little tough to read. So 53 total on the census, 14 9.8s. I like my women not impaled. I agree with that. I agree.
Mm.
So this raw copy sold for $190.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, man. This book is definitely coming into its own. And yeah, hopefully my hookup will have a copy of this. My comic book hookup. I'm hoping. I gotta ask him. But
And
I
dude,
impaled both.
that's a very fine copy. That's not near mint.
I know, that's the thing. It'd probably go for more if it were, in higher grade. So that's when I saw the price for this, I was like, whoa,
Mm.
okay. All right. I think I sold the things too. I think I sold mine like maybe I want to say like 10 years ago.
Mm.
It was a while. And even then it was going for like maybe 100. So not bad. Thanks for specifying And we're done, everybody. We're done. Okay, so I tried to take a nap. It didn't take, so I'm probably immediately gonna check in on Sylvester and then take my happy ass to sleep. I can't wait. I'm looking forward
Sounds
to it.
good.
Yeah. All right. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here BSing with us about comics, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Hell of a week in sales, man. These are like, you saw some
Yeah.
key issues going for crazy money.
And some books you would never expect or didn't even know about. It wouldn't be on my radar, and to see them get that money.
Yeah.
But that's good. That means the hobby is still alive and well. So
all right, everybody. I appreciate you guys for watching. Heroes Reborn Comics, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, buddy.
Once again. Always a great time.
Yep.
And okay, so I'm thinking Tuesday, Tales from the Flip Side. And then I'm maybe Ben will be back for long story short. Maybe
Ben is killing it out there, man.
he is. Homie is in Europe, just like tearing up.
He's bringing back all their shit, which is some amazing finds, bro. I really can't wait till he's on doing a show with you, showing off these books.
I'm hoping for the exclusive when he gets back. I don't know. We'll see.
In fact, you may have to design the show where it focuses on what he picked up, rather than go on about other shit, because the stuff he's picking up some legendary books.
Yeah, he's still on assignment. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude is being a total menace out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. We're out of here. Good night. And we're